Picture this. You have a long commute to work and just want to listen to a good podcast, but there are too many choices. Anime, film, comic books, science. What will you do? Well, never fear. We are here with all of your podcast needs. Welcome, all freaks and geeks. We are the Square Roundtable Podcast, a collective of Black nerds discussing all things anime, comics, science, and pop culture related. Please join us for our weekly podcast every Friday on squareroundtablepod.fandomlim.com, YouTube, and wherever else you get your podcasts. Be there and be square.
Renowned film critic Roger Ebert called Speed 2 Cruise Control a film that was a truly rousing ocean liner adventure story. He was one of the only critics to defend this terrible film. Released in the summer of 1997, I believe. Yes, I saw this in theaters. This is considered one of the worst sequels of all time. Keanu Reeves chose not to return for this movie, which was probably a good move on his part. And the idea for this movie came when the director Jan de Bont had a dream about a cruise ship crashing into the mainland, and he thought, I must make this film. I must make it and call it Speed 2, even though boats don't go very fast. Yeah, there's a lot wrong with this movie. Sandra Bullock is back, along with Tim Conway and many other strange people in this movie. Yeah, it was a box office bomb. I think it cost a ridiculous amount to make. It was like $160 million.
Yeah, I think it could be as much as $160 million, and it ended up grossing $160 million, which means, as we all know, you got to make like double to make your money back, and it did not do that.
Yeah, it's like the blueprint for
how to kill a franchise.
And
how to ruin people's lives.
It's kind of why I chose this series, because I wanted to see a movie that was so good versus a movie that was so classically bad.
I feel like it ruined my life, and I haven't even ever watched it a full 2 times.
That movie that we're covering, of course, is Speed 2 Cruise Control.
That was just another pointless sequel that didn't have to be made.
Joining us for this episode is a first-time guest, longtime friend, Mr. Jared Kaplan. Hello.
I'm sorry that this had to end your friendship.
All right, bye.
Jared is a post-production guy like myself. We're both from Long Island, and we're both LA transplants. And we both love pizza and eating pizza.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys are not clones.
We are not clones.
We're not?
We don't tell people.
Am I the second?
Smarter, stronger.
The listeners don't know that you don't look the exact same.
We have a similar look.
Also, clones often don't know that they're clones.
Yeah. I saw this one movie where there was like a really big guy and a really small guy, and then they were twins.
Yeah, that's true.
Have you ever heard of the American classic film Multiplicity?
Yes, yeah. That's Michael Keaton, right?
Why couldn't we have watched Multiplicity?
Wait, is Andy McDowell the lead
Yes.
in it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of those movies that just kept playing on repeat on HBO.
For sure, because it costs like $3. Like they paid you to take the movie.
Like, hey, somebody watched Multiplicity again. Oh, is that like 5? That's a lot of views.
Yeah.
So
this
yeah,
is
Speed 2.
License to Watch. My name is Matt McGregor. For those of you who are listening for the first time, right next to me is introduce yourself.
My name is Colin Shaw.
This is a good guy over
Good
here.
guy the cat.
Good guy the cat.
Yeah. And I'm
jump
Harris.
these
And God, if this is the first podcast you're listening to from us, I'm
Some
sorry.
people
I
seek out
apologize.
Speed 2 material. You know?
Yeah. I guess you could be a Speed 2 fan, in which case you're still not going to like this podcast because I'm going to poo-poo all over it.
It's one of these movies that's so bad that it's good. Is it?
I don't know.
Like,
no,
do
because
people
it's
like
no,
this
because it's more
movie?
than 2 hours long. You can't be so bad you're good, and also more than 2 hours long.
It's weird. Like I knew this movie. First off, I saw this in the theater in 1997 and haven't seen it since. And I don't honestly remember what my opinion of it was as a kid. I probably, liked it enough, but didn't realize how bad it was. You know, it's like I was too young to like appreciate the things that are good or bad in life. So going into it now, there were very few things that I remembered about it, and I was honestly crossing my fingers and hoping that it was like a surprise, like surprisingly good movie, you know, and maybe time was just cruel to it. But no.
It's like stupid right from the beginning. First of all, what is this guy's crime that they're chasing him for? Unclear.
Shortchange some kids in ice cream.
What was their plan? Were they going to just all shoot him and then he was too far away so they just didn't? Why is this guy on a motorcycle at all?
Who is this guy? We don't know him.
And then the parallel plot line, Sandra Bullock is doing her driving test. That sort of makes sense from what we saw in the first movie. Right. But why is she driving like a bright yellow amphibious car?
With Tim Conway.
In the first movie, she said she failed her driving test, but then she does a pretty good job driving a bus for the first time ever.
She should have been awarded a driver's license.
Exactly. And so in this movie, she's like not just a bad driver, she's like a dangerously, comically bad driver who is like, it's not that she's bad at driving, she's also bad at following instructions, of knowing what the fuck is going on, of hearing what the driving instructor says. Like, she's just bad at everything. She's terrible at this.
Yeah. She's not a character in this movie. She's appearing on screen in this movie.
They like fully reduce her to nothing, to a non-character in this movie, which
is funny because, like, I could see if they had Keanu back. This is what I hinted at when we did Speed 1, is the most baffling thing about this movie is when you have to rewrite the movie because you realize that one of your stars isn't coming back. Don't you shift it to the other star and not the semi-unknown guy?
Beef up the connective tissue.
Yeah, make her part bigger, make her more of the action. And they don't do that at all. They still have the guy leading the way and her being like the dippy person who gets into trouble and has to be rescued. And
it's a huge mistake. She should have caught this first bad guy. She should have been the one.
She should have been the one chasing him down.
I think I know why, though. I went through waves of theories watching this movie, right? You kind of start with, obviously, the funny, it's called Speed 2, cruise control. It's a slow vessel. Mm-hmm. But then I also thought, well, it's not fast 2, it's speed. It could be any speed. So
any speed. Yeah, not specific enough. Yeah.
So that's okay.
Slow speed, too.
But after watching
the
whole
speed
movie,
in question is cruise control.
Right.
It's like a comfortable speed, if you will. Yeah, okay.
But after watching the movie, I realized, like, okay, well, I think the movie's awful, but I do love a lot of moments about it. But what I was really thinking about was that for a fleeting second, I thought, wow, the plot of this is not a carbon copy of the first movie, which when you think about sequels, especially back in the 90s,
they took a swing.
It's like, let's make a sequel. Let's just repeat the same thing again. So at first I'm thinking, and again, fleeting second of like, wow, props to them. They made a terrible movie, but they tried to make something different.
Sure.
And then I thought, no, there's no fucking way that that's the case, right? Then I thought, maybe they shot this movie, right? It performed so bad testing. They're like, fuck, what are we going to do? We have Sandra Bullock. Speed did good. I don't know. Let's just
slaps
call
a Speed 2 name on it. Yeah.
But it clearly is a sequel.
It is. And so, and I know. And so that's where I thought about it again. I was like, well, who directed this? I'm like, it's the same director.
It defies explanation.
Right? So then I started looking into it more. And I was like, this makes no goddamn sense. So as I'm looking into it more, and I could be wrong, but from what I read online, this movie was supposed to be the script for Die Hard 3.
Yep.
And the studio was pressuring them to make a movie, and they're like, fuck, we need a movie. Here's a script that has like a vessel in it. Let's just do this, change the characters, add little nods to the first movie, and make it a thing. And that is why Sandra Bullock is not the lead.
There's a little more to it, actually. I'd read a bunch about that, too, which is really interesting because I never knew that before. I did know, that Die Hard with a Vengeance started out as a different script called Simon Says.
Yeah.
And they turned that into a Die Hard movie. But I didn't know.
Well, they had been working on Die Hard. They had been working on a third Die Hard movie for like years. They went through like 3 different drafts and 3 different versions. And many of them were not Die Hard. They were like action specs they were trying to turn into. So even before they did it with Simon Says, they had tried like 3 previous times to turn a different action spec into a Die Hard movie.
But it was all boat related. Like they wanted Die Hard 3 to be on a cruise ship for some reason. Right. That's just the idea that some exec had or whatever, right?
One time
I feel like mid-90s is when like cruise ship technology was like taking off. So I think there's something with that.
And we'll learn more about cruise ship technology as we talk more about this movie.
We will? Not real-life cruise ship
I've learned too much about cruise ship technology already.
So the movie Under Siege came out.
Right. That actually nixed one of the Die Hard movies because they were going to make it, and they were like, oh, no, everything's too much like this.
It's too similar, yeah. Because that's literally Die Hard on a boat. This movie, to me, feels more like Die Hard on a boat than the previous movie feels like Die Hard on a bus.
Yeah.
This is more formulaic and more just like
so,
yeah.
Did you guys hear that? So one of originally the Graham Yost, who wrote the original Speed, he wasn't contractually obligated to do a sequel, but when they decided to do a sequel, they asked him first to come and pitch ideas. And he pitched a couple of them, and I think one was set on a boat, but he also pitched an idea called it's basically a plane that has to fly over the Andes but can't exceed 10,000
an altitude.
Can't exceed a certain altitude. So it's literally got to like snake its way through the mountains, which sounds like a fucking awesome idea even before you get to the title, which was going to be High Speed.
Yeah, that's a great title.
Which was, how did that not get greenlit? Oh my God, so much better. Keanu would have said yes to that one.
That makes a whole lot more sense too.
This is not totally relevant to this discussion, but while we are watching Speed 2, I do want to say the shirt that Jason Patric wears once he gets on the cruise ship is like my favorite thing that he does in the whole movie, I think.
All right, tacky Hawaiian shirt, yes.
All right, while we're
it's
at
not Hawaiian though. It's a California shirt.
Yeah.
He says I'm LAPD like 10 times, and everyone's reaction is like, "Who gives a shit?" We're in the Caribbean.
That's not relevant here.
Out of your jurisdiction, just a little bit.
All right, wait. So let's
go. I do like that. I wish they leaned into that more.
Let's go around.
Keeps telling people they're just like,
I'm LAPD.
Who fucking cares?
And where's the captain? Like every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go around and say what our favorite element of this movie is, or what our favorite part, or favorite anything. And also, let's give our histories. Had we seen this before, etc. Jared, do you want to go first?
Sure. So I've seen Speed, the original, but my first time watching Speed 2 was literally last night.
Nice.
In preparation for this podcast, so I went into it just like I knew it was really bad, and I just knew I would be able to have fun with it. So for me, my favorite part of the movie or element, is that what you're asking?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so it's at the very end. Spoiler alert: they crash into a town that takes them like 20 minutes to crash through.
Yeah,
for whatever reason. But
awesome.
the funniest part for me is there's this dude. I don't know if he's like an assistant captain or whatever. They just keep cutting to his close-up, and he's just reading the knot speed, and he's just like, it's 5 knots!
Yeah.
And then it just more action
shaking.
happens.
He's like, 5
and then
knots!
It's 4 knots!
And then when they finally get to zero, he's just so happy.
Right. They get to 0. He says 0, and then someone else just says something like, oh my God, we've docked. And they just cut back to him, and he goes in like a really like defeated, happy tone, like 0.
Yeah, that's a really good part.
That Scottish guy, he's one of my favorites.
Whatever happened to him?
Whatever happened to everyone in this movie? Like it's full of
Boba Fett.
We know some people.
He's the only one.
Jango
and like,
Fett.
It took him 20 years.
When you see him, do you think Jango or Boba?
Well, now Boba Fett.
They are
Boba,
clones.
Yeah. They are clones. Yeah, literally.
All right, I'll go. My favorite part was I knew at the very beginning, before I even saw a single frame of this movie, I understood inherently that one of 2 characters from Speed 1 would be in this. I knew it would either be, what's his name, Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
He would have been great as a tourist on the boat.
Or who it is, which is the guy who gets his Jag commandeered in the first one, who comes back and has his speedboat commandeered in this
from
one.
Showgirls.
Yeah, exactly. And
but he gets his redemption too. His boat doesn't get destroyed. He like feels like he did something.
But also, how lame is that they didn't get Keanu back? So it's just like, instead of him being like, "Hey, this guy again."
That scene when he commandeers the boat or whatever.
Yeah.
If it was Keanu, it would have been so good. And it not being Keanu was so fucking bad.
I know, they should have scrapped it only for that reason of like, there isn't even a connection here anymore, man.
But that guy, he's not going to say no to the paycheck. Just like Sandra Bullock.
Exactly.
Like they destroyed her character, and this is not a great role for her. They could have fucked up her career, but they didn't, because you can't do that. She
rose above. Yeah,
you can't do that to Sandra. But
I'm doubling down on something I said at the last show, that they need to make a modern sequel, call it Speed, whatever, reboot, and
Speed Cubed,
and it has to be in the tradition of modern reboots that they do now, where here's what they call it, just call it Speed,
exactly.
Take the original title and just ignore the fact that this movie ever happened. Just have Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves reconnect somehow.
So wait, no love for my idea of doing a Speed Lego sequel that has Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves reconnecting, but she's married to Jason Patric, and it's kind of a loveless marriage, and the whole thing is about
that could be doable, but I already feel like you want too much creative control.
No, but like I said, I insist, no action. This is like a serious drama. This is like an after midnight drama where it's them talking about their dreams that they had when they were young, and now that they're old and things haven't worked out right, they're reconnecting.
What if the title is Speed, like you said, but the E's are flipped backwards, or the 3's?
Yes, it's got to be like that.
Yes.
33 years later.
Harris was so adamant that there could be no action that he didn't allow the characters to stand up too fast from sitting.
In fact, he refused to say action on set, so they never filmed anything.
Is this actually the band UB40 performing
Yeah,
this song?
Is
it really?
It is.
That's one of my highlights.
I think I was going to say that's my highlight.
This is the thing about Speed 2 is I'm offended by the things that it could have hurt Sandra more. It could have hurt the career of UB40, which is not cool in my book. And then it could have hurt Willem Dafoe's career.
And this woman right here, the blonde hair, she was in the elevator in the first movie.
Oh, yeah.
She was the scared woman who, the last one.
Oh, yeah, we got the panty
elevator.
shot from her, right?
No. God,
no. That's the earlier one that's coming out of the elevator.
Yeah.
Oh, she's the one who they should have let die.
Her hair was different,
my
so
opinion,
it's hard to recognize her.
Yeah, but UB40 rules.
I have a hot take on this sort of moment right here.
Is it about
I don't know if this
white
is
reggae bands?
No.
I got a hot take on white reggae bands. Not
it's
good.
Not that. It's this.
Oh, the deaf girl. The deaf girl?
Yeah.
Dancing and singing. Dancing to the... How does she hear it?
Deaf people do listen to music.
I know that.
Okay.
I'm not,
all right.
She's
I'm
feeling the
that
beat.
She feels the beat, but I don't think they really thought about it much.
Let me ask you something. Is there a thinly disguised sexual predator subplot here?
Absolutely.
He's making eyes at this girl. It's hard to. I say thinly disguised because I don't think it's disguised at all. He's making eyes and flirting with this little girl from across the room. Later, he's in their bedroom. They're watching Lolita.
Yeah.
They were all watching Lolita?
They're watching
Yeah.
Lolita. He's watching Lolita in the bedroom.
Why?
It's all out there.
That's so bad.
Also,
Yeah.
she looks like she's 10 years old.
Why would you have them watching Lolita? Because the story I think they're trying to tell is that this guy wants to
bang a deaf girl.
That's the story they are telling.
Goals.
That's the story they're telling. Yes. I should specify bang a deaf child.
Oh my God.
Yes.
The story I think they're trying to tell is that this guy wants kids with Sandra down the line, so he's talking to a kid, but this girl is a preteen, so she's starting to have feelings for men and stuff like that. I think that's what they're trying to do. But I can't believe they were watching Lolita. How
I know.
Did they
It
do that?
seems
Why?
it seems like
Why
they're
would you
them
do that?
it seems them tipping their hand a little bit hey, you get what's going on. You get what I'm really talking about, right?
That's so weird, especially with their the bad chemistry, weird relationship that we've constructed between Sandra and Jason Patrick's
exactly. She's
character.
once she puts it together, she's oh, that's why the sex wasn't any good. I'm too old.
I think Keanu could have pulled it off, though.
Yeah, Keanu is
Probably,
clearly
yeah.
supposed to be in this movie. This character is not supposed to exist.
There's something about Jason Patrick that just kind of doesn't work, and I feel really bad. It's not just that he's not a good actor, which he probably is.
I feel like this guy should have been a model and not an actor.
Yeah, he does have
Is
piercing
that
blue
mean?
eyes. No, that's not mean.
No,
I feel like that's a good way to like still compliment him.
Here's the thing, though. I want to say something in his defense.
also, why does he
Go
keep
for it.
a ring in a rack?
Yeah, it's weird. I want to say something in Jason Patric's defense. So he was a fairly unknown actor when this came out still, even though he'd done most of his best work in his career already at this point. Jan de Bont didn't want to cast him because he was so unknown.
Who is this Jason Patrick? I don't know him.
But he had done Lost Boys very early in his career.
You're gonna name all his movies now, aren't
one
you?
of his first movies. No, I'm just gonna name the good ones, which probably Lost Boys is definitely on his IMDb. These other ones probably aren't. But he was in a movie called Rush with Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Is he in Copland?
No.
Is he in Narc? He's in some.
He's
cop
in Narc
movie.
with Ray Liotta, who
yeah,
is in Copland. Yeah, so that's later on. But at this point, he'd been in Rush, where he also plays an undercover cop. He did that the year before this movie. That's what got him this movie. He was also in a movie called.
Is he in Sleepers?
Yes, that was what got him this movie. That's what convinced Jan de Bont to cast
I thought
him.
you were saying Narc was.
And he was in a movie called
Near Dark?
After Dark, My Sweet,
Which
which was based on an old Cornell Woolrich novel. Who's the other guy?
You say stuff sometimes that sounds like you're making it up on the spot.
Yeah, it might be.
Cornell Bullrich novel? That's a real thing?
Yeah, but not him. The guy who wrote like.
Yeah, but not him.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a novel by him. It was the guy who wrote the. What was that Casey Affleck movie where he plays a sheriff who murders people? Population 180 or
Manchester by the Sea.
Good Will Hunting.
Anyways, no. After Dark, My Sweet, he played.
Ocean's 12.
That's it. That's the one. In After Dark, My Sweet, he plays a boxer who's like punchy and is like kind of dumb and gets manipulated by, I think, is it Linda Fiorentino or somebody, some femme fatale. No, that's The Last Seduction. Anyways, he plays.
What the fuck?
What are you talking about? Can
What
we
is
play
this
top four, Jason
info
Patrick,
dump?
now?
Anyways, he plays a punchy boxer. And he does such a good job at it, and he was really good in Rush, and he was really good in Narc, and he was like, there's movies that he was okay in or good in. It's just a very specific kind of role, and it's not this, not action star, not charming.
I will say it looked like he was willing to do his own, like a lot of his own stunts in this, which is, commendable.
And what stunts they are.
Yeah, it's a lot of him like flopping around on deck, but whatever.
Everything in this movie is so forced. Like the writing is so like the reason why he stays on the boat to like investigate.
Yeah.
No one, come on. You're off duty. There's some smoke in the hall, and he's like, "It smells like shit. I must investigate it."
No, I'm a police officer thousands of miles from here, so I need to take charge
You
whenever
can see all
possible.
the puppet strings of them trying to manufacture whatever
plot,
drama there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Willem Dafoe's character, his motivation makes zero sense.
It's unclear.
Like the first part of it, I get it. He's a disgruntled employee, and he wants revenge. Why he takes it out on a boat with people, I don't really know. And
why
also,
was he
what is he
fired
getting
for-
out of it is just a bunch of diamonds in a bag. Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. And he had all the diamonds and could have just left. Like,
Yeah, and then he's still like kidnapping
Also, like,
Sandra
he's-
Bullock and stuff for reasons that are unclear.
He's also clearly very smart and probably could just steal the diamonds without doing all the other shit. So
yeah, he could have
Very
just.
confusing.
He's creeping around the ship all the time. Why doesn't he just creep into the diamond room and creep back out?
the
Although
most overly elaborate.
My
scene
biggest
with
pet
him and the-
peeve too is like the way he gets foiled at the end is not by some clever like thing. Or, like he literally is flying the plane and just not looking.
He's
where
bad
he's
at
going.
flying planes.
Yeah.
That was his weakness. That was his kryptonite. Is like being good at flying
took
planes.
a real long time to
Couldn't
get
do
off
it.
the water.
In my
Okay.
memory, it was like the harpoon that they shot, like got tied to something, and it like whatever. No, it's not that clever.
Just flew into the.
Just flew into something.
Funny.
He does too much cackling in this movie, like maniacal cackling.
But that's the only.
But that's why they
the only
got
good
him.
thing you could do.
There's
Yeah.
Lolita right there.
They wanted there's Lolita. There's they wanted Gary Oldman, but Gary Oldman was like, this I don't want to play a bad guy in this movie. I want to play a bad guy in Air Force One.
I've got other cackling to do
Yeah.
in a different movie.
Let's do top four. Jason Patrick, known for.
I feel like we did it already.
Guess goes first. I bet you none of the movies are named around there.
I have no idea. Speed 2.
Speed 2 is correct.
Wow.
All right, I'll take the other easy one. Lost Boys.
Lost Boys is correct.
That is
The
correct.
Lost Boys. Were you referring to the Lost Boys?
Yes, I meant The Lost Boys.
Okay.
All right. I'll say. All right. I guess I'll say Sleepers.
That's a good one.
Sleepers is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
All right.
One left.
I am going to say. What did I say it was? Wait Until Dark. No, that's the Audrey Hepburn movie. The fucking Narc.
Narc is incorrect.
Jared, back to you.
Speed 3.
Speed 3 is incorrect.
For now.
For now.
All right. I'll say we already said Narc. We said Sleepers. We said this movie. I feel like I had another one.
The little girl's watching him shoot guns too on this scene.
They just have guns openly on boats. That's great.
I was ignoring like a lot of the little girl stuff going on.
Yeah, she's kind of creepy herself.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna attempt to say the movie that Harris was trying to think of. I think it's like After Dark.
After Dark. Yeah.
That's
After
incorrect.
Dark makes me-
Okay, so this movie is a PG-13 movie from 2010. A CIA Special Forces team is betrayed and left for dead by their superiors, galvanizing them to mount an offensive on the CIA.
I feel like I've seen a movie with that plot before.
Like
That's
Transformers
like every
2.
movie.
I feel a little robbed because I thought Harris, every time he heard CIA, always said Central Intelligence Agency. That's an oxymoron. But
Is that I don't think he was in this movie, but isn't that the plot of Smoking Aces?
no, that's not the plot of Smoking Aces.
What is the plot of Smoking Aces?
No one knows.
I know. I'm embarrassed now to tell you. And also, if I tell you the plot of Smoking Aces, you know that's going to eat like 20 minutes of podcast.
Well, we may have 20 minutes of podcast to spare.
I know we're about to announce our next twofer at the end of this episode, but I just realized Smoking Aces is a twofer.
Oh God,
That's right. I've never seen the second
Oh,
one.
you know why I thought of Smoking Aces though? It's another Joel Carnahan movie who directed Narc, I believe.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
He was hot for a minute. Oh, God, Jason Patrick. Is it on me right now?
I think so, yeah.
2010.
Yeah, it's got Idris Elba, Zoe Saldana, Jeffrey Dean Morgan,
Oh
Chris
shit,
Evans.
I know this one. Oh
Wait.
shit, what is this called? I know this movie.
Is it like Columbiana or something
No,
like that?
no, it's not
No.
serious. It's joking. It's actually dumber than or goofier than Smoking Aces. The fuck is it
Goofier.
called?
Is it like...
Yeah.
They're like a team, but it's very comic booky. But
Is
I
it
don't
The
think it's based in
Losers?
The
That's
Losers
it.
is correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
out of turn,
That
so it doesn't
is
count for you.
correct.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Wait, so... Okay, well, somebody got the point.
Is it my turn?
Nobody got the points.
I think we got it.
We got all four.
We nailed
Yeah,
it.
that's all four.
We
Oh,
nailed.
I was just
we
going to say the
nailed-
losers.
Yeah, you get the points.
you
You get the points.
Yeah, very
You get the
good.
points. Good job.
You did it.
Play by the rules.
This guy should not survive here. He should murder this guy.
One of my... God, this movie is...
He catches the bellhop snooping around. The bellhop catches onto his plan, and instead of murdering him, we don't find out right now. But because we all like the bellhop because he's funny.
And with one fell
can't-
swoop,
we
he
do?
killed that guy's career.
No, yeah, he's
Also,
terrible.
I think
small
like-
cruise ship by today's standards.
Oh yeah, by today's standards, this is like a sixth of the size of like a regular cruise
Yeah.
ship.
What's the boat called? They say like
The
1,000.
Seaborn
Legend?
Seaborn Legend.
Real boat name.
Yeah, that's the actual name. Here he is, our Scotsman. There he is. He's like holding this movie up.
He knows how to count.
That's right.
5 knots.
5
5 degrees, of course.
Yeah.
Like they definitely were just like had the camera and they're like, okay, you need to shake more. It's like, can't you just shake the camera? And they're like, no.
Yeah. Jango Fett. There he is. What's that guy's name? Do we know this?
Tamara Morrison.
Yeah, he's good.
He's like New Zealand.
From Tia and Tamara fame.
Tia and Tamara.
I would like it better if he like took charge in this thing and Jason Patrick like died in the second act.
Yeah.
Pretty early on, I thought to myself, "There's no blood in this movie. There were no violent kills." Whereas in the first Speed movie, there's a violent death in the first like 30 seconds of the movie where a guy gets
Do you know
stabbed.
what
in the
Speed's
head.
rated?
Speed is definitely rated R.
Speed's an R-rated movie.
PG-13.
This is
Yeah.
PG-13, yeah. They thought they would do better with
wider
audience.
Demographic.
And
They
they
were
did
trying to appeal to young women.
Oddly enough, this actually had a great opening weekend. Where it
had a
did-
better
it
opening
did-
weekend,
Yeah, it
yeah.
made like almost twice as much, I think, as Speed did on its opening weekend, and then word got out.
It's all about the second weekend for a
Yeah.
movie like this. Like, of course, everyone's gonna go for the first weekend.
In a time when only word could get out. That was it.
Mm-hmm. Willem Dafoe is another one who was at an interesting point in his career because he had done a lot of like creepy weirdo roles. But
Have we ever done a top 4 of him?
I don't know. Have we?
Are we there already? We're like at a loss for stuff to talk about.
I just love top 4.
Like this death right here, bam! That should have hit him in the head, blood gushing, and then he just throws him overboard and like a fucking shark
This is
eats
one
him
of
or
the funniest
something.
scenes. In
the
movie
captain death?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
funny.
ridiculous. What the hell? How does he? Why doesn't the captain just take a
step
half
back.
step backwards?
Also, it's not like they're in an enclosed area where
He could literally just turn around.
The captain also looks like a bigger, stronger man. Why doesn't
Yeah.
he just like sock him one?
He could run away. He could do any number of things that don't involve him getting knocked off the ship here. Also, any number of passengers could come by. In fact, some passengers come by almost immediately after the captain gets knocked overboard.
Yeah.
Some passengers wander
And then
by.
he takes pictures with them.
Yeah, exactly.
His plan is ridiculous, and his motivation is also ridiculous.
Oh, doesn't he have terminal illness also? Like, how is he able to?
Well, that's
like,
the leeches.
Okay, the leeches might be my favorite part of this movie. I think just like that visual element
stupid.
and like that whole bit that he has to put leeches on and it like makes him feel better.
Bloodletting.
That's
Yeah.
like a cool villain thing.
It doesn't
is
seem like a thing that's
it doesn't
real,
make
though.
sense. Like, I tried to Google this. Like, apparently, like you can get poisoned from electromagnetic fields, but copper poisoning is not the same thing. So, like, what is he talking about? The leech is eating the copper that he got.
It's in his blood.
Well, here's the thing. His family comes from a strong medieval lineage where his father was a doctor in the Dark Ages, and all he knows is leeches.
His direct father.
His direct father
lived from the Dark Ages
Listen,
until 1995.
There's a reason they left there's a reason they left the time travel backstory out of this because it was just too confusing.
That'd be too much speed.
Yeah, they made the judgment to just leave that part aside.
Oh my god, dude!
I
just remembered the little girl like wears a spaghetti strap shirt, and she's
Yes.
like, "I want to do this, Dad."
Yeah.
know who- I think
I'm gonna show him my thong.
Do you know who this actress is? I'm
Except
pretty
she's-
sure it's her.
She says it in deaf language, in sign language.
Do you know who plays the deaf girl's mother?
I don't know.
It's her name's Lois Childs. She was the Bond girl in this very shirt that I'm wearing right
Oh.
here. She was the
she was
Moonraker.
She was Dr. Goodhead.
Yeah,
Wow.
Dr.
Wait.
Goodhead is in this movie.
Seems like that's a step down for her.
I'm pretty sure
Like a
that's her.
background
I'm
actress.
looking at like they don't have any like
You should probably
current
look it up.
pictures of her. This is what she looks like.
Why don't you just
in
IMDb
James
her?
Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they only have pictures of her from Moonraker era.
Why don't you just find out if she's in Speed 2?
She's definitely in Speed 2.
Okay. Well, there you
Oh,
go.
that's it.
But
Maybe
But
she's an old
you
lady.
don't know what
though.
character.
I don't know
she
what
is in
character
Speed
she is.
Well,
yeah.
let's look out for some hot old ladies in this movie too. Then, also, I'm glad they cast an actual deaf girl as the little deaf girl. Very good.
Oh,
job.
is that true?
That is true.
That's good.
Yeah.
Huge relief.
They did something right.
It's also super weird though.
It is really weird.
Well, I mean, also it's directed by Jan de Bont. Where is
Jan
he
de
from?
I don't know. Austria?
Netherlands, I think?
Legend.
The Netherlands? Yeah.
Seems like the kind of place where it'd be like, yeah, sexy 12-year-old. This is what we need for this movie.
Yeah,
and everyone's like,
small, sexy 12-year-old.
I feel like that's a little unfair.
We shall bring an elevator back because it was in the first movie.
I talked to my friend Roman Polanski, and he said the most important thing to do in your movies is to have sexy children in them.
He told me to watch Lolita.
Wow.
Said, make sure you have lots of sexy children in your movie. It's the only way.
We have a lot of listeners in Europe for you to just like disparage the old men of the
No,
whole
and
continent.
and you know what they're all doing right now? They're nodding like, yeah. Europeans are built different.
Yes, we know we are perverts.
I mean, not anymore, but like they're like,
Oh,
yeah, my dad though.
Not since Europe got woke.
There's not even any, like, okay, the boat.
Now you can't marry children until they're 16 at least.
Oh my god, that's awful.
Like, the boat crashing is probably the coolest part of this movie. But, like, every other stunt, it's so boring. Like, there's nothing exciting.
Oh, you
We didn't
think-
actually get to
You
go-
didn't think him jumping onto the rescue ship was exciting?
No, I didn't. And they really try to make you feel like it is.
So many people fall off and get sucked into the propeller of the boat and die, and it's just so like nonchalant.
Yeah. A couple times the other characters don't seem to notice.
They also remind you about it a few times.
Yeah, and they choose not to like highlight their faces, so they're just like random stunt people.
Yeah,
like,
that's the saddest thing about this is how hard they try to sell some of these quote unquote stunts that I'm sure, like, I don't know. It's there's something about doing it on a speeding bus that's so much different than doing it on a speeding cruise ship. And
it's
hey,
not a speeding cruise ship.
For all I know, cruise ships might travel faster than buses. I have no idea what the relative speed of these. Like if you're in the water, that thing might be moving by you really fast.
Yeah.
All I know is that when you look at one of these motherfuckers, it looks like it's barely going anywhere.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's because it's so big. It's
relative.
They move. They don't move maybe as fast as a jet plane, but they move.
They move in knots.
They don't move at the speed of which you would think it would be for a sequel.
Yeah, for something where it's like speed 2 faster.
We didn't get to finish everyone like saying what their favorite part is, but I think it is like when the boat crashes. I was telling Harris before we started, like, like third act problems is such a cliche, but the best part of this movie is the third act because like the boat finally starts running into shit, and that's like what everybody came to see.
I think from that moment on, like I was just laughing
when it hits the tanker. It's like, yeah, it's starting to hit stuff.
It's great.
I wonder
everything that's not like a poor late 90s CGI shot, like where like
like actual.
I don't even care. I want to see because at least the boat looks like it's moving in those.
True.
I wonder like how hard they had to try to add, like, because I know you open with this chase that's completely unnecessary and ridiculous. This motorcycle chase.
Why is he on the motorcycle?
What's falling out of the back of the truck and why?
Yeah.
What was this man's crime?
And they're so desperate for action that they're cross-cutting with Sandra Bullock in a driving test that they have to make look like it's a chase as well.
And they just happen to be in the same exact
area. The driving test is on Mulholland for some reason. Just like,
why is she in a yellow whatever? Okay.
I thought the reveal was gonna be that it was a training exercise. Like it felt like that to me. Like all the cops were like.
It's weird how like the police are literally waiting for the truck to arrive at an exact location. Yeah. And it's not like him on a motorcycle can direct that truck to specifically go to that one location.
Right, because when the truck sees that there's a bunch of cops at the end of the road, he goes, "Oh, I guess I'll just go back and run over the one motorcycle that's been chasing me." That seems like a better idea. But that is literally the only action that takes place until now when the ship starts crashing, which are we like, what, a half hour in? More than that? So there's like a short action scene, and then there's literally like at least a half an hour of just dead exposition.
That's got to be why they put that in there. Well, they needed to introduce him as a badass. He just happens to be like a SWAT member, like Keanu Reeves' character.
Yeah. Coincidentally, he's exactly like Keanu Reeves, only not the same name or the same actor, but he has the same relationship with the same woman.
It's up worse.
So did we get everyone's favorite thing? I think we did. I think we got everyone's least favorite.
Are we going to do
I have a second favorite, which is everybody on the boat going, "Oh shit."
Oh, that was a good one.
Oh shit.
I wanted a few more characters actually to say "oh shit," but
let's talk about the characters. Let's talk about the side like little bit role characters. There's so many.
I feel like on set everyone was just like really digging all the side characters and extras, because they weren't realizing like how bad the chemistry was between Jason Patric and Sandra Bullock,
or how bad the movie they were in was. They were like, "Oh my god, we're in a speed sequel. We're all going to be famous and have long careers."
Yeah, they were like, "Don't talk about how shitty it is. Don't talk about how these two have no chemistry." Look how many great people are here.
Hey, have any of you guys read the script? No, I just read my parts, but I'm sure it's all amazing.
They're giving everybody a line.
Yeah. They're giving every single person a line.
Yeah.
If you're on camera, you get a line.
Let's go through them all. Okay, so we know the deaf girl and her parents.
Yes.
There's the girl who I thought was Mimi from the Drew Carey show.
Oh yeah, the mustache guy who's like looks like one of the super fans from like the Bears,
Oh yeah,
he is one of those
and he's from the what else has he been in? He's been in things. Was he in one of the major league movies as like a fan from that, or he was?
I don't know.
He looks like.
I'll try to look him up while we discuss the Django Fett.
Yes, you got all the crew members, the Django Fett and the Scottish guy.
Yeah, the crew members.
The goofy
singer.
waiter.
The singer girl.
The singer who
The
almost
wedding
shows her,
photographer.
The photograph guy. Yeah.
The couple
cruise
at the end
photographer
on their boat.
Yeah.
the bellhop.
Mm-hmm.
Guy.
The kid in the when they're looking at the room at the end. There's a little kid.
Oh, the
staring,
little kid.
and the mom.
Oh,
they're
that little
looking
kid
at like a
who's
partner
actually
or
the
something.
director's son.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's the girl with the high pitched voice, the blonde girl who I thought was Victoria Jackson, but it's not her.
Who is it?
I don't know.
She's
But she's from
been
something.
from
Yeah.
things.
All right, so the guy with the mustache, his name is Mike Haggerty. He was also in Overboard, the original one, like with
He just loves cruise
Goldie
ship
Hawn?
movies.
Goldie Hawn. Wayne's World. He was in Wayne's World.
Okay.
He was also in Inspector Gadget with Matthew Broderick. He was on Cheers.
No.
He looks like a guy from Cheers.
Yeah, he looks like one of the characters that
Unnamed background. Yeah.
He's in So I Married an Axe Murderer,
Oh, I like that.
Okay, that's a great movie.
Speed 2. He was on Deadwood apparently.
Don't remember him on Deadwood.
Looks like he was in a Curb Your Enthusiasm. It looks like he was in Red Heat with Schwarzenegger.
Was he in stuff?
I'm waiting
in
for
the
that movie
80s?
where we're
Yeah,
all going to
there's
go,
gotta be-
that's
there's
it.
gotta
He was
be
on
something from the
Friends, the
80s.
television show.
No, a movie from the 80s. Scroll to the 80s.
They're not in order. Oh, he's in Dick Tracy apparently.
What the fuck?
This is useless. This is somebody
The Wonder Years.
somebody who knows how to use IMDb. Take Colin's phone and answer this question for us.
Character actor. He passed just last year at 67.
This isn't
What?
answer. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna look this guy up and get to the bottom of this.
Oh, there's
Oh,
this
he's in
lady.
Brewster's Millions. So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Okay,
Austin
Brewster's-
Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Oh, who was he in that?
I don't know.
Who is he in any of those movies?
Yeah.
He's just in
Some
all of
guy.
them.
He's in 3 Mike Myers movies, so he must be buddies with Mike Myers.
They are best friends, or were when he was alive. Not anymore. All friendships end at death.
Upon death.
It's like he was on a Grey's Anatomy episode. This guy worked a lot.
He's just one of those like character actors that's been around.
Yeah.
One sequence that I thought was cool is when they're all evacuating the boat and it's like pouring rain outside. I thought that was a nice touch to add to the tension of the scene. You know, like I don't know, the pouring rain worked for me.
So on Friends, he was the building superintendent. So he was a regular on Friends.
Okay, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Is he a Seinfeld? Is he on Seinfeld?
Yeah. What role did he play on Seinfeld? He was Rudy in.
Rudy.
Oh, you see those doors that
Fuck.
that they can't get open?
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
also
I-
flimsy, right?
Well, it's not even that. Like I was looking it up, and someone was saying like it's very clearly that they're designed to just easily be open, and they didn't like take the time to like I don't know like put like board over it or something. So she has to like go through it with a. Also, that's another hysterical part. She picks up a chainsaw, right, and then just goes and picks up another one. It's like, oh yeah, and it's like
They're the
I
same
didn't
thing.
see the difference.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Oh yeah, I was confused by that. I thought
Yeah.
it was like
Like-
maybe they lost
Like
the rest
joke,
of the
joke
takes.
should have been like I don't know, like a knife or something, and then oh shit,
Yeah.
just missed out on a good joke.
Was it a joke? I feel like
It
it's
was
just
trying
like
to be.
I feel
Yeah.
like they just lost the
Definitely.
rest of the film. They were like,
think
oh,
they
this is
just-
the only take we got.
I feel like they just whiff on a lot of things. They're trying to do things, and they're constantly just
Maybe that's
swinging
why
and
it's funny
missing.
though. Now
Yeah.
you were saying like this movie is so bad, but it's not so bad. It's good.
Yeah.
I mostly agree with that. I think it's just the third act to me is just enough to say that this movie is so bad it's good.
Yeah.
Like, it's just enough.
It takes so long to get there, though.
It
does,
does
yeah.
take a
It
long
does.
time.
That's kind of part of it though. You're like
It's torture.
finally something.
Yeah.
Colin's into edging with his movies.
This movie came out the same summer that The Lost World came out, which is another like disappointing sequel.
But at least that one was a complete, retread the same kind of idea.
Yeah.
And might have been under 2 hours long.
I don't know. It's pretty
Oh,
long.
I don't think so.
And then like that's another one with a crazy third act. Like they literally just release a T-Rex in San Diego.
Yeah.
It's totally different from the rest of the movie. Yeah. I mean, we can get into that when we inevitably cover Jurassic Park one of these days.
Oh, you guys haven't done that yet.
I know. It's
Matt thinks this
fun.
podcast is going to go on for like decades.
Yeah.
Well, there's no reason it can't, right?
Cut to Harris when he's like 50.
True. I mean, I will die at some
I
point.
hated you then, and I hate you now.
I've wasted my life.
But if you do Jurassic Park, you're going to do the really bad
Yes,
Jurassic
the World
movies.
Series is
I mean,
separate.
in
or
essence, they're all really bad, except for.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I have a special place for the third one.
Jurassic Park 3
Which
is
one's the
amazing.
one with Which one's the one with William H. Macy?
That's
Third
the third
one,
one.
yeah.
I like that one.
I like that
that
one.
was pretty
It's-
good.
it's
that was
so
pretty
campy.
good. That was pretty good.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's fun.
When they go in it has the
Got
pterodactyls.
Michael Jeter, I think, is in that one.
It's,
A bunch of good character actors.
Got a talking velociraptor.
Yeah,
Alan.
it's when they have the mold of the inside of the Velociraptor's nasal cavity, and they blow in it.
Yeah, it's good.
They start talking to the raptors.
Well, that started a whole thing because in the newer movies, he
Yeah.
straight up like trains them
Yeah,
and
buddy
loves
raptors.
them.
Yeah.
So stupid. Like, how can we take something so frightening and make it like completely not scary?
It's so irresponsible too, because when they build the real Jurassic Park, a bunch of these little kids are going to try to pet those raptors, and they're just going to get eviscerated.
It's inevitable.
And the raptor's going to be so much more adorable because the real ones will probably have feathers.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Think about how cute they're going to make the
Yeah.
dinosaurs when real Jurassic Park comes around.
Yeah, damn it.
Make the eyes bigger.
Yeah.
Also only like 2 feet tall.
Yeah.
We had to explain to Maya the other day. She's like aware of Jurassic Park. She's never seen the movie, but
Right.
like she's seen parts of it, you know, whatever. And like
Only the parts where like the lawyer gets eaten.
Yeah,
and just
yeah,
all the
yeah.
bloody
Yeah,
parts.
yeah,
exactly.
The funniest parts.
Samuel L. Jackson's dismembered arm.
Yeah.
And she asked like how are there dinosaurs in this movie? And so like we had
You say dino DNA.
yeah, I actually showed her that part. She loves anything that's a cartoon, so she loved that. And now she's she's scared of mosquitoes. She like does not like mosquitoes.
You just got to show her
After
the
this, or like she already
In general,
was?
yeah, she already was.
You just got to show her the scene where the raptor comes in the kitchen door and you can see the puppeteer like making him work.
What?
There's a shot in Jurassic Park where you could actually see the puppeteer making the raptor walk.
No way.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never
it's-
seen that.
Yeah, it's when he first like sticks his head into the kitchen. You can see like the hands like on the sticks.
I
and-
don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Well, now they would probably take that out. If it was a George Lucas movie, they would have taken that out and added like 5 more raptors in
They
there.
just add like a flashlight instead.
Jar Jar Binks for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. Would have had a song and dance number with a bunch of alien raptors.
Speaking of Jar Jar Binks, should we do a top 4 of the Tamara Morrison? Is he in 4 things?
Okay, yeah. I thought we were gonna do Willem Dafoe, but this is.
I mean, hey, we got a whole show to do, you know.
give me one moment.
We got a whole show to do. We're already running out of material. Can we just fast forward to the
What are
end
we
of the
gonna
movie?
talk about? How
Well,
he's
we-
about to flop onto the escape craft.
Oh yeah, this is his big
This is a great
action
action
moment.
scene.
Can we fast
Is it?
forward 40 minutes after this though and just like play from there? I feel like this is going to be.
I feel like you could just skip ahead and like when we get to something.
No, you have to
like-
build up to what's good
Yeah,
with all
I
this
think-
bad
I
stuff.
think you're right. We have to torture ourselves to get to that amazing ending.
There's no like deaths or like anything that happens where you're like, oh shit, you know, like no oh shit moments, I guess.
Oh my god.
Because like even when like the captain falls overboard, it's like a bunch of shots of a guy falling next to it.
The,
and
the,
you're like,
the
eh.
editing in this is horrible.
Yeah, it is pretty
I
poorly
don't know. I
made.
think it's pretty good.
It's a poorly made movie.
All the action sequence they make no sense. It's like cheap editing.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I found Temuera. Isn't it Temuera? Temuera.
Yeah.
Temuera.
Yeah.
I found his page, and his top 4 is really difficult, like extremely difficult.
I'll go first. Sister.
Sister is wrong.
Wrong.
Is Boba Fett on there? No, is there TV or just movie?
Just guess what you think it's gonna be.
I'll say the Book of Boba Fett.
Wrong.
Wow.
Wrong.
I guess I'd have to just go with Attack of the Clones.
Wrong.
Wrong.
Really? Wow.
Speed 2 Cruise Control.
Wrong.
Wow.
Wrong.
Is he in Rapa Nui? Damn.
If he is, it's wrong.
I wish he was.
Wrong.
It's super difficult.
Wow. Those are like
Mandalorian?
Like one of these things, like you know how they have little thumbnails next to the thing where like you
it doesn't have
It's
a
not
it
Top 4
doesn't
doesn't
even
have
have
a
a thumbnail. Yeah.
I got a variation on top 4. How about if we stop guessing and you just tell us what his top 4 are?
Ooh, I like this.
Yeah.
No
The
hits
odds
or
are in our
anything. I
favor.
really don't think I don't think guessing is very productive here.
Okay.
So the very first one is Disney Gallery : Star Wars : the Book of Boba Fett.
Are you
So
fucking
the
kidding
behind
me?
the scenes?
The behind-the-scenes story of the legendary bounty hunter. So he's credited as himself in that.
Oh my god.
The next
I was
one,
about to guess
What
that.
does that say about you?
the next one is a TV miniseries. It doesn't even say what year it's from, and it was
Doesn't even say the title. It just says it was some TV. Even IMDb is like, I don't really remember it that much.
It's called Chief of War. It's about like Polynesian islanders, I guess.
Sorry, then Jason Patrick just slides around on the boat.
It's and when he jumps on there, they do the double shot of like they
in
show
slow
the
motion.
action
Slow
twice.
motion?
The
So
slow motion double shot of
nonsense.
it, which is such a even like I feel like at this stage that was like something that was like Lethal Weapon late 80s era editing technique, and they're still kind of throwing it in here
There's a bunch thrown out
to
too.
try to create dynamism where none existed on the screen.
All right, so his third top.
It doesn't
four-
even look like it's like it doesn't even look
there's
that dangerous.
There's no suspense here.
They can't even make it look that. Like,
There's a few times in this movie too where things just conveniently don't work. Like this part right here, he's like, "Oh, I can't. It's not working. I don't know."
Yeah.
But in this part of the script, we need an action scene.
Right. Exactly.
again, you can always see the puppet strings of them trying to manipulate the sequence into whatever they need it to be. All right, go on. In number 3.
All right, the third one is from 1994 and is called Once Were Warriors, where a family descended from Maori warriors is bedeviled by a violent father and the societal problems of being treated as outcasts.
Was he like a famous actor in New Zealand or
Yeah,
something?
probably.
And then that's
Yeah.
probably why.
Or
Those
just
are,
like, he's,
Famous for being Boba Fett.
Okay, 2 thoughts in this scene. Right now, the little deaf girl is climbing up the elevator. She's shimmying up, like extending her arms
is
and
she a
legs.
fucking gymnast?
Tiny elevator.
Number 1, her sneakers are really cool.
Oh, yeah, great.
And number 2, this doesn't make sense. Like right now, she's pushing up. Like, what is she standing on right now? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
Don't
make
worry about it.
Physical, logical sense.
Yeah. Also, I don't know how tall deaf girls are. I'm not sure I could extend the
length, of an
elevator.
elevator. Yeah. It must be a tiny elevator for tiny people.
Yes. Yeah, she was on the little girl elevator. That weirdly Jason Patrick's character spent half the movie off screen just standing outside of for some reason. Hey, why are you standing outside of the tiny girl elevator again?
I just have a feeling she's here. It's like literally, oh, okay, he's stealing the diamonds.
Yeah.
Yes, this is like the real. I love that when like you find out a villain's like, motivation, but then later on it's revealed that like that was just a ruse to like so they could really just like do something even shittier. Like they're just stealing money.
It's just so basic.
But in this, it's
And
both.
he's so maniacal.
Classic Die Hard.
Yeah, that is a classic Die Hard thing.
Yeah. Do we want to know the fourth?
I guess.
yeah.
I don't, but we've gone this far, so fuck it.
So this one's also really difficult because this movie has not been released yet. It's called Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. And here it says, plot unknown, sequel to the 2018 film Aquaman.
Is he in the first Aquaman?
Doesn't it's unclear. Let's find out in just a moment.
You think with Jason Patrick, still a fairly young guy, hairline clearly receding at this point, do you think he had anything in his contract that was like, no water scenes for me for the
No, there's a ton of water scenes in this.
Yeah, no, but I feel like that's something that like if your hairline is thinning out up front and you're an actor, I feel like you have to put it in your contract. Yeah, we can't get my head wet though. No, I know it's on a boat, but
He just seems happy to be in this movie.
does he? Because I feel like I got the feeling that he didn't seem happy to be in this movie.
I think
He
seems
looks like a
excited
guy who doesn't like experience happiness the way a normal human being does.
Maybe that's part of the alert.
I did read that. Okay, so Keanu refused to do the movie because he hated the script. He said he said he was in, and then they sent him the script,
He's a
and he said
smart
I'm
man.
out. And he ended up doing Devil's Advocate instead. Much better movie.
Great movie.
Yes, great choice by him.
Too scary.
Jason Patrick not up for Devil's Advocate. Ended up taking this movie, but insisted on several rewrites to the script. He felt like it was not very good, and he thought he had some ideas of what he wanted his character to do. Said, "I will
bet
not.
his rewrites are
I will
bad.
not sign on to this movie unless you do these rewrites." And then he showed up on set, and it was the exact same fucking script. And they were like, "Well, you can quit and give us the money back." And he was like, "Fine, I'll do the fucking movie," which may explain some of his performance. I don't feel like he's enjoying himself in this movie, and I
no.
feel like he might have just gotten fucked.
Yeah.
But
Fair
I
enough.
agree with that.
I may have been speaking out of line.
Do you guys think
It's possible. It's possible.
possible.
He might enjoy moments of this movie. He definitely looks like he's doing this to fulfill an obligation of being in a movie that he knows is going to be a turn. I feel like everyone here is kind of secretly feeling like
they're fulfilling their
except for the background actors who are
After
just
hearing
thrilled.
that, I give him more credit.
Yeah.
The background actors are just thrilled they got lines.
giving everybody lines.
They're
Well, that's why the movie's 2 hours long.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody, you get a line. You get a line.
Yes, he is in Aquaman 1. He plays Aquaman's father.
Oh, that's right. In the lighthouse, right?
Isn't Willem Dafoe also in Aquaman?
That is correct.
is.
Yes.
This is basically a prequel to Aquaman.
This basically
knew it.
is Aquaman. Does anyone think Jason Patrick looks vaguely similar to friend of the pod, Matthew Holla?
Yeah, I see a little Matthew Holland there.
I feel like they could be related. You don't see it?
No, that's definitely got the jawline.
I need to look again. I think it's
Got
just
the
maybe the head shape.
Jawline and the
It
hairline.
is
I thought
the
you were
head
gonna
shape.
say,
yes, it is.
I
the
thought
head
you were going to
shape.
say Jason Statham, which I would have been like, that's really cool. You guys are friends with Jason Statham.
We are friends with Jason Statham. He's tried to get on the podcast several times. So
All right,
he could,
then. I want to get on the Speed 2 episode.
right? Yeah, he's constantly trying to be on the podcast. So if you're
And we're
listening at home,
We're like, and we always tell him, Jason, that's a terrible Australian accent. You're not allowed on here until you master that.
crikey, stop saying shrimp on the barbie.
I thought another thing that was interesting was that Sandra Bullock basically spent most of her salary on this movie, which is like $11 million, investing
On
in
ice cream.
another production. In another production, a little movie called Hope Floats, which was her passion project. And Jason Patrick, who made far less money, spent a lot of it producing a movie called Your Friends and Neighbors that was kind of an all-star cast of it was a Neil LaBute movie, so like a little indie drama. So I thought it was kind of cool that they both made good use of their
Hey,
multi-million dollar
I like to hear
salaries.
that though. You
Yeah.
know, like they're making movies. They're having
In it
fun.
for the paycheck, but they're using that paycheck to make something good.
Hey, make a bad movie to make a good movie.
Yeah. Not that I don't know. I never saw Your Friends and Neighbors, but I also didn't like Hope Floats. So maybe make a bad movie, then make another bad movie with the proceeds from the first bad movie. Just continue making
spread
bad
it all
movies.
around.
Yeah.
Spread all the badness. Yeah. God.
Who is that lady that looks like Victoria Jackson? She must be in something.
Yeah, she's
really familiar.
She's super familiar.
And then this girl, the
the
singer,
singer?
I don't
Yeah.
think she's in anything else, right? She like quit acting after this.
But she is an actress.
She's
Or
another.
she's a singer, yeah.
She's definitely one of these people who are talking about like, wait, she has a line. Like, why? Why does this character have a line?
This deaf girl's acting style is very Velociraptor like. She's very like always kind of like moving like this. And her looks like she's got like see very lizard like.
Maybe
I
that's
think you
like,
have to be, though, for a character that can't speak, right? So
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, and this girl who's disrobing right now, you know who she is? Not her, the blonde one with the big boobs. Her name's Colleen Camp. She is the hot French maid in Clue.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
She was in some other stuff too.
Yeah, she's in a lot.
Yeah.
Real actress.
Some
Until
talent.
this movie, then
There was
then
some
she
talent
stopped
on
being
this
in
set.
things.
I like that character, though. He was good.
If you could recast this movie with like,
Keanu Reeves.
is that Cuba Gooding Jr.?
I bet there was some like craft services table moments on this movie that were like better than what they were filming.
I mean, they're on are they? Do you think some of it was actually shot on the cruise ship?
It definitely was.
Yeah.
I'd said that they chartered the boat for 16 days or something like that,
Wow.
or 16 weeks. One of those.
Wow. They
my
really
God.
shot on there. And
Yeah.
Just enough for
I mean, well,
everyone
yeah,
to
then
hate
the food probably
themselves.
was good because you just have.
The band really
Yeah.
was UB40.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing at this
I
time.
didn't realize it was them, and I was like, "Who's this corny white reggae band?"
Some of the actors were
And then
only
you said
paid.
before, and I was like, "Oh, okay." They were good. Yeah.
Oh, look, here's the
corny
chainsaw
way.
part.
There's
Yeah,
gonna be
this will do. She picks up a yellow chainsaw.
Oh man.
Oh, wait, sorry. We
I
missed the first half.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
the final.
Yeah, the
piece.
chainsaw
yeah.
thing's stupid. We should go back in time. I should be in Speed 2 just so I can tell people like, yeah, they didn't pay me. I just wanted to see you be 40.
I'm just here for the band.
Yeah.
Would this movie work better with Gerard Butler in the lead?
Sure.
Like if it was made today.
Now Gerard Butler or like 14-year-old Gerard Butler when this.
As the Scottish
Yeah.
character? Oh, that works too.
I'd be open to a lot of different changes to this film.
Well, soon enough with AI.
Yeah.
Just make the movie you want with the actors you want.
Yeah.
Tonight we dine in hell. That's all.
Oh, I know where I know that actress's name is Kimmy Robertson. And, okay, let's see if we can get it if I give you some clues.
Okay.
She is from a very influential and popular television show that ran for only 2 seasons, but spawned a movie and a Lego sequel series.
Oh.
And she's the lead?
No, she's just one of
She
the
was just
characters in
on
the
the
show.
Is
Yeah,
she like a major character, or is she like?
she's pretty important, recognizable. She's probably in most of the episodes.
It's a 2-season long show that spawned a movie and
It's in the 80s.
And a legacy
like
series.
reboot. Oh,
Yeah,
Night Court. No, I don't know.
Was it in the 80s or?
it was in the 80s, I believe. Yeah,
What?
Twin Peaks. I got it.
Oh.
I
Yep.
got it.
She was the
Shit.
secretary.
Holy crap.
Secretary at the police station that was in love with one of the deputies.
Wow. I did not think I was going to be the one, but I
Nailed it, Colin. You're super smart. That proves it.
Finally some recognition.
So yeah, she's sawing down
The joke where the guy's, she's like, "Come on," and the guy's like,
Stop
"Back
pointing
up."
the chainsaw at me.
Yeah, that goes on for way too long.
Way too long.
He just keeps taking pictures. Like,
I actually
yeah,
like that.
that's so
listen,
stupid.
The man
I like
is
the guy.
the man is the cruise photographer.
oh, okay.
I mean, he's dedicated.
The only way that works is if during the credits they show all the pictures that he took, and they're
Oh
all
my
people
God,
like.
that'd be so good.
But she just won't move out of the way. She's got a chainsaw.
Or it would be even better if it was like pictures of the crew, like you could see like the cameraman in the background and like the director and
Yeah.
stuff, because they're seeing his perspective.
This is like beating a joke to death. Like they had the line there, and if the line doesn't land, it's not going to make it funnier to repeat the line. Back off with the saw.
None of the writing in this is good. Like,
When is this?
I was very cognizant of that watching this. I was like, wow, this is
It's a bought script, right?
Yeah.
So,
When is this boat gonna run into some stuff? That's what I'm saying.
Well, it's a bought script that then had to be
transformed.
rewritten
Yeah.
into a speed movie that then had to be rewritten into a speed movie without Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
Right.
And
Although
it
read
definitely
s-
seems that way.
I did read somewhere that the whole talk about it actually starting as a Die Hard thing was kind of overblown. There was like some overlap because some of the same producers were on it, but they were like, it was a different script that, you know, happened to be set on a boat. One of the many, like you said, one of the many scripts that were set on boats, but there was only like certain elements that they borrowed from the original Die Hard one.
From a business standpoint, it's kind of genius when you think about it. Like, you want to make a ton of money, here's a fast way to do it, you know?
Yep. Just regurgitate out the same old shit over and over again. They just didn't realize that the trick was to have, you know, guys in capes.
yeah. That's all we wanted, over and over and over again. Yeah. This is kind of cool.
Is it?
It just looks like fun.
He finally got the little girl.
Yeah.
Did this come out before?
Matt McGregor says it's great that creepy dude is finally holding that child that he's been
I
lusting
kinda
after.
don't like the scenes that are him and her together.
I
Yeah,
was
it's
just
not
thinking,
fun.
Did this come out before
I was more talking
or
about the
after
water
Titanic?
slide part of it.
Okay, the water slide part of it, I guess that kind of looks cool. The man with the shotgun grabbing the child, not as cool.
Getting her real wet too.
Oh my God. I knew you were gonna say it. And I was like hoping you didn't, but I knew you were gonna say it.
Hoping
I've
it
always
gets
wanted
hope.
to do this. Like, be in a chamber
That
where the
rises.
water floods and you.
Yeah,
How would you
yeah.
actually like
Yeah.
stay afloat? That sounds
You know,
fun.
because they have the indoor skydiving where you get in like that
Yeah,
air
yeah,
tube
yeah.
and it blows you up. I'm surprised they don't
Do
have.
that. Yeah, that looks.
I feel like people would just die. That someone's
Oh,
foot
yeah.
would get
Oh
stuck.
my God.
in something.
Also, like I bet that water would get real dirty real quick.
oh yeah.
But this is why if we ever have like a massive flood or something in Los Angeles, I am going to an elevator shaft and trying this shit out.
Was it like a couple times we recorded ago? I was asking you guys if you remember wave pools.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We had a park we used to go to all the time in Long Island called Splish Splash.
Yep.
And they had a wave pool, and once in a while they would just go a little extra hard.
Yeah.
Everybody would just get
They're just
wiped
playing with
out.
these kids' lives out here.
There's one in San Antonio, right down the street from our house called Water Park USA that
Yeah.
had a massive like
Harris looks like he almost died in a wave pool. Right?
Yo, people have died.
Oh
in
my
the
God,
wave
they
pool.
have to have. Yeah.
Because they're fun and dangerous.
The Splish Splash one was gnarly because the floor, I don't know what they like paved it with, but it was
It was
like
squishy, right?
it was spiky.
Oh,
Like, it's like when it's like
I was
kinda
going to say,
spiky.
the only
was
thing I remember
painful,
about Water Park
It was
USA
like
was
sand, and then it went to
It
the
couldn't be
fake
smooth
cement.
because you would slip and you wouldn't
right.
be able to.
They had this
yeah.
massive wave pool that had like an abrasive, like really roughest grade sandpaper floor on it. That was, you could like body surf in, and then be really in bad shape.
cut
when
up.
you-
Yeah.
I feel like what's like the most dangerous wave pool? Like where do you think in the
It would have been
country-
Action Park for sure.
Oh yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah, it's probably somewhere in Texas or Oklahoma or somewhere down
'Cause
south, Alabama.
I'm pretty sure I went to one in like the Tulsa area when I was little, and I was like,
Yeah, I feel like that's where all regulations go to die.
I just wish I could go back and find out about the qualifications of like the lifeguard on duty that day. And it was probably like, oh, they were
if we're talking about in America, it's definitely somewhere near where you grew up.
they showed up.
Yeah, I just watched the Waco show recently. Where you grew up is pretty fucked up. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, well,
Where did they have where was the Schlitterbahn where the kid got decapitated?
Schlitterbahn? It's
Not-
Central Texas.
Not the one, no, not the one in Texas. It was their second Schlitterbahn that they opened, where they had
know. I have to look
they,
that up.
They wanted to make the biggest free water slide in the world, where it's just like a boat on water, or like a vessel on water that you slid down on. Or no, it wasn't even you weren't even sliding on anything. Maybe I don't remember what the story was, but it was like they basically made this thing. And then the first weekend, they'd never tested it. Some guy who just was like the son of the guy who invented Schlitterbahn.
What is Schlitterbahn?
It's a water park.
Massive water park. It was the coolest. It was the coolest.
Oh
water
yeah,
park.
it's the coolest.
The one in Texas.
It's in New Braunfels, Texas.
Yeah,
Is that
the
like
one- yeah, the-
German for like for death trap or something?
for Death Water
Death
slide.
Water.
I mean,
adventure.
there's no doubt the scariest water ride I've ever seen is at Action Park. It doesn't exist anymore. They had an upside down looping slide.
Oh yeah, that
You
sounds.
should look it up. They made a movie about it. It wasn't
Yeah.
good.
So-
I've seen the movie.
But oh my gosh, terrifying. And I went to Action Park as a child and saw it and went, nope,
No way.
I'm doing that one.
In 2016, what was supposed to be a fun day out for a family became an utter tragedy when 10-year-old Caleb Schwab was tragically killed while riding the world's tallest water slide at Schlitterbahn Water Park in Kansas City, Kansas.
Oh okay, yeah.
So yeah,
What a shithole.
What happened? He fell out or something?
No, he went down the world's tallest water slide. So it's like this
there's
huge-
more in this paragraph.
Oh boy.
The tallest water slide, called Verrückt, which means insane in German, was 17 stories tall and had a 60-degree drop.
Yes.
Pretty
So he got to the bottom, and then to keep people from just launching out into the stratosphere, they had a little a cage.
Like a tube
They had they had a
a
cage up where it went up, and apparently he went up so high that he just snipped the top of his head right off on that thing, and he got decapitated. So they decapitated this 10-year-old. Now I think it shut down that park, but I don't think the guy ended up in jail.
Oh.
Yeah, we're looking at some pictures right
horrifying.
now. So the guy didn't end up in jail, I don't think, but it was basically like, because the original Schlitterbahn,
So I don't understand. He went.
probably wasn't that part, but like one of these things.
Oh, okay.
like cages, like protective cages. But it was, Schlitterbahn was like this family-owned thing that they started just building. I think they started in New Brunsfield, just building like
New Braunfels.
New Braunfels, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, but they started just
Lots of
building
crazy
water.
names being
They just
thrown at
started building water slides in their backyard or something, and just expanded it into this massive park. Which
At
had
one
a-
point, it was the world's largest water park, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I just
and-
remember the Travel Channel would do their top 5 water parks, and Schlitterbahn was always number 1.
They had like a lazy river, like a man-made river that went around the park that was like a 3-hour tube ride where
Yeah.
you just like, because that's how big it was.
Man, I always wanted to go to Schlitterbahn.
But so anyways, these guys who had just been like randomly making water slides for fun, didn't know anything about the science of it. One of them was like, I want to make the tallest one. And everyone was like, all the engineers were like, yeah, but there's like physics and stuff. And he was like, no, we're just going to throw a bunch of sandbags in there. Oh, looks good to me.
That's like Action Park too. The documentary kind of goes through, and they're like, "Yeah, we just want this ride to be a loop-de-loop," and they're like, "But you can't do that." And they're
They
like,
make
"Cool."
dope rides.
And they didn't have insurance. They couldn't get insurance, so they created their own like fake insurance company.
Oh no.
So like, and someone died at the park. Several people died.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And like
And they used that for advertising. They were like, so scary, you can't get insured.
People
That's probably what the commercials said, honestly.
I knew a guy when I was young in Texas who like him when he was a teenager, him and like some other kids snuck into the Schlitterbahn after hours, and that probably wasn't that good because once they shut down the water,
the water wasn't running and they couldn't.
Yeah, the water's not running. It's just gonna skin your ass.
Yeah. Get a skateboard.
All the uncooked German sausage you can handle.
The lazy river doesn't move. Just
Wait, guys, we're
swimming it.
missing a lot of really incredibly lame action sequences. Should we stop for a second and appreciate this?
we're
The
at
weird
the
door
grenade
explosion that he's got to
sequence.
dive out of the way from.
The grenade thing sucks.
I thought the grenade was going to come back, like they were going to put it in his plane at the end or something, and it never comes back.
It's so labored how like much time it takes to explain the fact that a grenade exists. You know,
Even the fact that they never even like get into direct conflict. They're always like separated by. He's always escaping through doorways and shit, and it's I don't know, very lame.
Yeah, and then he somehow is like puts his face on the like multiple television screens and just like
what was that
menacing.
about? How did he know how to do that?
But the best part about that is that Jason Patrick shoots the TVs more than once.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Like, well, there's not much to bring up. Why does he keep shooting the screens? Like,
It makes no sense.
what is that gonna do?
If anything, it's just obstructing his view of what he's trying to say.
Right.
You know? Yeah, this is so dumb.
Yeah.
And then they pull the grenade out. By like precariously removing the pin and then like tying a rope around the thing that pops out. I don't know what it's called, trigger or whatever.
It's just their dialogue is always so bad, like between each other. And
Wait, you're saying they don't have chemistry?
yeah, but it's like really, really bad. It's like
They don't have chemistry. The writers don't have chemistry. Nobody.
yeah,
in this movie
yeah.
has
It's like
chemistry.
it's taking chemistry out of the world retroactively. everyone has less chemistry because this movie.
Every
was
time
made.
this movie is watched, the world's overall chemistry level drops slightly.
Just the fact
It's like
that
global
exists.
warming, just like little by little.
Just the fact that it exists is the reason for like several divorces.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
I will say one thing. It would be interesting to watch the original Speed, which again, not my favorite movie, not my favorite action movie, but it would be interesting to watch the original one and then watch this one and see how a sequence like this, where she is tying a shoelace around a grenade and he's giving her instructions on how to defuse this tense situation.
She was smarter than this in Speed 1.
Yes. But like it's weird to see how this doesn't seem tense in this movie. And yet in the original they were making kind of equally dumb scenarios
No, they
tenser.
Did it right. They did
You
it
know?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the scenarios in Speed 1 are brilliant compared to the scenarios in this.
Right.
He's just trapped in the mall.
And so what do they get rid of the grenade? I forget how they
They
get
throw
rid
it
of
or something.
Do they?
It's unclear.
No, something happens.
No, I think they.
I
No,
feel like I was like waiting
Something
for it.
happens. They throw
It's
it
just
to-
so hard to care.
there's like a credit sequence at the end where
Yeah.
where the grenade is shown on vacation on the beach with like a Mai Tai. It's like,
No, see,
what
it's
happened to the grenade? Oh, it's
They just cut away from it. I don't think they discussed the grenade ever again.
Also,
Even though we
Willem
just
Dafoe
wasted
with-
5 minutes on it.
with plenty of opportunities to hop on another like escape boat with all the diamonds he's got.
Yeah, he's had the
Just-
diamonds for like
Also,
half
like,
an hour
what-
at least now.
What a dumb plan! Like he could get hurt on the boat.
mm-hmm.
Why stay on the boat?
Yeah, you'd want to get off that fast.
And is this the first of many CGI shots right here? Or this isn't
No, this
CGI?
has got to be real.
That looks.
Oh,
that's
it
a boat.
was just a day for night, and then they adjusted it in the color grade.
Yeah,
And they're like,
that's
it's
accurate.
day now.
Yeah.
Where did he touch you? It's okay, Dad. I'm okay. I swear to God, if you're pregnant,
Oh,
I love the mom. She's like, "Where's Alex?"
she's like, "Are you fucking kidding?"
where's Alex? We should at least get his number if you're pregnant.
I can't tell if the mom is that woman from.
I think it is her because I don't think
I don't know if we missed it, but there's like a weird throwaway line where someone goes, "That's my sister," and you're like, "What? You remember that line?" No.
No, from what part?
Random,
I don't know. I just thought about it.
random people having random lines about
What's this
random
part?
characters
Is he
that we don't
pretending
know.
to have a concussion, or I don't?
Yeah, why has he got that look in his face? I feel like he's got
And
that
she's
look
like
a lot,
holding
though.
his head, like I don't get it.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a scene that they cut. They're like, "This movie's too long."
Yeah. I can't believe
you
they
think-
would cut
do you think
something
it's
out of this
possible
2-hour movie.
To cut this down to like an hour and 35 and
Yes.
it'd be better?
Yes.
Well,
Not-
so
Not
listen,
good, but
yeah,
better.
no, listen. I feel like it's possible to cut this down. Anything you did to cut this down would inherently make it slightly better. I feel like you could definitely,
Unless you cut out the boat crashing into the thing in the end.
well, yeah, I
then
guess
you-
if you cut the
then
whole
you're an
third
idiot.
act, then
I'm
you're
talking
definitely.
all first act, second act.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is one of those movies that they should have understood that they weren't ever going to make a good movie, and just decided to make a bad movie slightly shorter.
Yeah, and also from like a business standpoint, the shorter the movie, the more play times you can have
Yep.
at a movie theater. So
Yep,
Kinda
you'd think they would
detrimental
be
to
like,
make it
"Hey,
so
listen,
long."
guys, we got to hit 85 minutes."
Also, like the general public's knowledge of how ships, especially cruise ships, like work, plays into the non-existence of tension in this movie because it's like every 5 seconds they're like, "Oh, we can't change the direction of the boat. Oh, but what if we turn the
bow thrusters.
boat? Yeah, the whatever."
What about the very end? He's like, we
just
should drop
side
the anchor.
propellers.
And they're like, oh, yeah, we could have done that the whole time.
I didn't catch that. Oh no! And then they try to do it, and they're like, "It's stuck. It's not working."
Of
No,
course,
but they
'cause
do
nothing
drop
else
the
boat
anchor.
works.
Oh yeah, and it gets torn apart.
But it's like,
right?
why
Yeah.
didn't they drop the anchor like an hour ago?
Yeah. The bow thrusters are little
You
They're
mean
on the
bow
side?
thrusters?
that a
bow
real thing?
thrusters. That's
Yeah.
right.
Harris trying to
They're
look
these
all
little-
smart.
There's those little things that blow like sideways.
is
Yeah,
that, is
to
that
help
real, right?
Yeah, to help it turn, to help
Yeah.
big ships turn.
Yeah, it pushes the boat sideways.
Well, in this case, that's what they do.
It's like sideways propellers.
So in all this, Willem Dafoe didn't think of that. Like it sounds, if that's like a well-known like piece of a boat.
He was
like,
wiring up a camera to put himself on 10 TV.
Everybody has their kryptonite, Matt.
You had a lot of stuff to do. You had a lot of stuff to
he
do.
thought of everything seemingly, but like a way to turn the boat, he chose to ignore that.
There's so many things he does that aren't just stealing the diamonds and leaving. You know, like what?
Well, he wants his revenge.
Look, that's Lolita also.
Oh, and of course, some foreshadowing right here.
Oh, this line. Why does this guy have a line? You get a line.
So this line apparently is like a word for word copy of like you have the same exchange in another movie. I can't remember what movie it is, but it's an old movie, and they pronounce the name Kurt Jurgens, which is incorrect.
yeah,
Instead of Jurgens?
Instead of
Jurgens.
Jurgens, yeah.
Crimson Tide, maybe it's another. It's
It's
another boat
something-
movie.
it's another boat movie, yeah.
submarine.
Das
Crimson
Boot.
Tide is from after this.
Well, maybe they stole the line from this. They're like, nobody will even notice. Nobody saw this fucking movie.
Also, what a missed moment to not make he's German guy or whatever, right? Like the secret other bad guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that
I was
would've been a
waiting
good
for
one.
that reveal, like he was in on it the whole time.
I can't
But
believe
it's
that
just
Willem
Willem
Dafoe
Dafoe
is
by
just by himself. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
well, I thought he had, in my memory, maybe I was thinking of Under Siege, like a crew of people.
Also, was crashing the boat into the oil tanker always part of the plan, or
I
is
think
this
so.
like his improv? Is he
No, I
like
think
freewheeling?
he was planning to bring it there and then get off and escape.
Oh, and
they
like
turn
that was
it,
a
and
distraction.
they're
Because he
like,
wants his
"Oh, we
revenge.
did it."
Yeah, he wants
Yeah.
he wants to ruin
What's
the cruise
weird
ship
though is
company.
like to his credit, he does give the people on the boat the chance. Like his plan was that everyone would get off the ship,
right.
so that
Except
he
for
could just.
like one guy, right?
Well, the captain. He
Yeah.
wanted to kill the captain.
He wanted to kill the captain, yeah, or the people who work for.
I don't know if
the
he
cruise
wanted to kill
company.
the captain.
He
I
seemed
think
to
he just
delight
knew-
in killing.
I
the
think he
captain.
just knew he needed to.
Yeah, that's true.
Part of the plan.
But so he took the thought to
That's
like
true. I didn't think about that.
save the lives of these people or give them an opportunity to save themselves. But the people on the oil the whatever
the tanker.
the tanker, yeah, like he doesn't give a fuck about them.
No.
I mean,
So-
they're oil tanker people. I mean,
Just they're so dirty all the time.
Have you guys ever been on a cruise ship?
I've been
Yes,
on
I
one.
have.
yes, I have.
Wow. I've never been on a cruise ship.
Ever?
You haven't lived.
No. Oh my god, it seems awful.
You get seasick?
No.
depends.
But the only thing I know about cruise ships is if somebody pushes you overboard, you will never be found, and nobody will investigate your disappearance.
I mean, what the hell are you doing?
That's
that you
the
get
only
pushed
thing
over?
you know about cruise ships? You never heard about the buffet?
No. All I know is that like
Or
if somebody
UB40?
invited me on a cruise,
UB40.
if somebody invited me on a cruise, my first thought would be, why are you planning to kill me?
My experience with cruises and talking to people about cruises is that like you eat so much fucking food because you just keep going back and just like eating more buffet.
And
like,
the crazy thing is,
yeah.
it's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not saying that's
Pretty good
bad.
food.
It's just like you just keep like stuffing yourself.
You know what? I think there's also like seeing us, like if I had to do a cruise ship on a small boat like that, I don't think I'd have a good time. But like going on the really, really big ships they have now, it's like being on just a giant hotel. And
There's
a lot of fun activities.
Yeah, being in a giant hotel. So like there are days on the cruise ship where it's like, oh, we're just in between the two destinations and we're just like on the water. And if you look outside, you're going to see like a blue horizon. So like, yeah, there are days where you want to just like walk from one end of the hotel to the other and make it take as much time as
Sometimes
possible.
that's
And
just what
cruise
you
ships
have-
are
yeah.
designed like that.
Yeah, and you just do your exercise. Like, go for a walk.
Yeah, they have like.
I feel like I would
loops you
rather
can
go to
walk,
a
yeah.
place. This seems like vacationing
no, but,
in limbo.
But you stop off.
But you're
at
trapped
places.
with other people.
Like you don't stay on like
Oh, now
like
you-
if you go on like a
now you're
7
speaking my
day
language.
if you go on a 7-day cruise, you're not just like staying on the cruise for 7 days. You get off.
Yeah.
You go to locations. You go on excursions. That's the more of the appeal of it.
Yeah, that's like the in between days are what's like more like an interesting social experiment. You see who wants to like not socialize, and you see like who wants to like make a connection. And
You go to the really bad
you
like
start finding out-
performances and shows.
exactly. You start finding out about the people who work on this boat all the time,
Oh, yeah.
all that stuff.
fun.
It's fascinating.
My cousin Colleen was a dancer on a cruise ship for a year or two, and she said seemed pretty boring. But she only
What's she doing now?
She only worked a couple days a week, and I don't know what she does now. I mean, I
She's
assume
still
she's
dancing on a
dancing or
cruise ship?
something still.
So you don't care about your family? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I've heard being a musician on a cruise ship is a pretty great gig actually, because you just kind of like play once a night and then you
Yeah.
just get to chill.
Well, yeah, it sounded like she's like for the dancers. They only did I think 2 or 3 shows a week or something. So she only had like 2 or 3 days that she worked, but she got paid pretty
So
well.
she told you it was boring, but meanwhile, we all know that
She was
There's-
just trying to keep you
they-
out of doing
right,
it.
and also
Yeah.
like from things I've heard between the workers on cruise ships,
Oh, they all fuck each other.
rampant fucking.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, I would assume so. I mean, but I think that's part of the boredom is that they don't have anything to do when they're not
I
working.
guess
So it's
so.
just like sit around and
It's the close quarters too. You seeing the same person every day, and they like live either like right with you or
Oh,
right next to
how
you.
was your day? Oh, I don't know. It's on a cruise ship.
yeah. How was lunch? Because I smelled it.
It's the same shit every day, and you know that.
Live in the same fucking place. I've been smelling you for months.
It's just like Willem Dafoe running around with a little backpack on is like not.
Look at that
threatening at
CG
all.
propeller though.
Look at his little backpack. You going to school, buddy?
Why isn't anybody paying any attention to him? Yeah. Is he invisible? What is going on here?
Yeah, the geography of stuff is very confusing in this movie.
Look, he's peeking out the door. Like he's like, I hope they don't spot me.
If this were rated R right here, this thing would like cut his arm off completely.
I mean,
And we would see a side character get chopped.
It could have
to
been the
bits.
difference
totally.
between it being like an actually like good movie, because it could have just been like way more fun and gorier and
Totally, yeah.
insane, you know.
This, I mean, I'd cut all this stuff if we were talking about cutting things. Like, oh, let's try to stop the propeller, and they just like throw something at it,
But
and
look
they're
at
like,
this-
oh, that
Yeah,
didn't
look-
work.
also-
Because this doesn't do anything.
I was
They
gonna say-
still,
No, that's
Yeah, I
so
was going to
much
say if they're trying to stop the propeller. First of all, it's lame that he even got hit. If you're not going to kill the character off, don't fucking hit him with something. Don't fucking hit him with a massive whatever the fuck that thing was.
It's
you know
so
what? I thought
that
he got
later
shot.
on, when he pats him on the arm, he goes, and he goes, oh, sorry. Did you guys catch that?
That's pretty funny. Though. That was actually
so
really
bad.
funny.
Yeah, he almost got hit by a massive. He got hit by a massive winch, and he's not even really badly injured, and it doesn't even kill him. And then the winch goes under the boat. They're trying to stop this boat with that fucking cable, and then the propeller gets hit by the winch, and it doesn't even do anything there. They're not stopping that fucking propeller.
they're using like
Bunch
a
of
rope.
dummies.
He could kill this guy
What
right
a bunch of
now.
dummies.
Oh yeah. Well, also like
That's that face
the
right
Willem
there.
Dafoe face. Why after all of this, after hours of this whole plan and like, you know, killing another guy like in a weird way, why now you finally use a gun? You know?
It's true. He had a gun the whole time.
He had a gun the whole time, and especially with the way he kills the captain.
True.
That awkward, like pushing him over the side
With
thing
that
with the other metal
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
it was such a weird way to kill. It was very like humpy in the body motion. I just don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything's dumb about this.
Yeah, this movie's
They
not
like all this movie needed was him to be
amazing.
like, "Oh yeah, I have a gun," and then he like pulls it out.
Are we going to do Willem Dafoe top 4? This seems like a good
Yeah,
time
this
for
is
it.
a good time for it.
I feel like with just like he's the only one who has a gun. Why? Oh, there are those shotguns or whatever. But why didn't he just hijack the whole boat with a gun? Like, hey, it's my boat now. I've got a gun.
You asked too many questions.
Isn't that what happens in Captain Phillips?
Well, I mean, you have to give him credit in terms of getting a boat to evacuate without really damaging the boat.
Yeah.
Pretty genius.
Credit where credit's due.
Even though the science
guess.
makes zero sense, but
And it's unclear what his overall plan was.
right.
This movie came out the same year as Titanic, which is weird to think
Well,
about.
that's what I
Yeah.
was saying. There's that scene where they're shooting through the hall with all the water. So did this movie come out before or
before. In
So-
fact, Titanic was supposed to come out in the summer, and they pushed it. I think because of this movie, because it was too
interesting?
many boats.
Another boat movie.
Yeah.
We don't want to compete with this.
Also, did you ever hear this story that Titanic? They did like one of those test screenings, and it tested really poorly,
I think I did hear that.
and had a different ending. And you can watch it on YouTube. It's like horrible. It's a horrible ending. But they changed the ending, and they decided to like
Jack lives.
recut it and like release it in December.
No, it's not.
And they just were not expecting it
What-
to do.
is the
Jack
ending you're
lives and
talking
Jack
about
lives and they
where-
get married.
she like gives the diamond to them or something like that?
It's something.
or she's in front of them and then she drops it.
It's
She
something
pulls
like
a gun
that.
on them. They figure out that she had the diamond the whole time, and she pulls out a gun, and she's like, yeah, it was all part of my plan. Then she tries to get on a seaplane and escape, but the seaplane crashes into an oil tanker.
I'm gonna steal all your diamonds. See, she just starts talking like an old timey gangster.
For some reason, she just immediately crashes the plane.
She's too busy cackling and looking out the window. Oh shit!
No, but I'm pretty sure the ending you're talking about is instead of just throwing the diamond off the boat, she tells them all that she's throwing the diamond off the boat and then does it in front of them.
Right.
Which is
think so.
different because
It's more
they
like,
think
fuck you. Know?
they think the diamond has been lost. So if she reveals that it's not lost at all and then she purposely makes it lost, it's like
Also, like,
why would you do
you think
that?
they're not just gonna go dive down and try and find it?
Oh, of course they're gonna try and
Come
find
on,
it. They
like-
spent like half of their lives and all of the money they could ever find or get trying to find that diamond.
All right.
Exactly.
Top 4 Willem Dafoe. I'll give you a hint. None of these are Lars von Trier movies.
Oh,
so don't even
damn.
bother guessing Antichrist or Nymphomaniac 1 or Nymphomaniac 2.
Okay. Am I first?
We're
now?
doing Willem Dafoe.
Yes.
Oh, we
no,
did
guesses
go
guesses
Yeah,
first.
Guess goes first.
I mean, I'm just gonna start with Spider-Man.
You're going to start with the right answer.
That is correct.
My guess is The Life Aquatic.
Great guess, but wrong.
I will say
Me too.
the Boondock Saints.
Oh, another great guess of a bad movie and another wrong guess.
I'm gonna take another shot. Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Oh, that's
No.
I was gonna guess that.
Incorrect. Incorrect.
So now I'll guess Speed 2.
That is also wrong.
Wrong.
Willem Dafoe, eh? God, he's in so much. Oh, The Lighthouse.
That is correct.
Damn
That is correct.
Guess that. Shit, man.
He's great in that movie. I actually
Okay.
Why'd you spill your?
All right, you ready? You ready for another one? Yes. Spider-Man 2.
That is wrong.
He's not even. Oh,
It's
he
a
is in
small
it.
role, yeah.
He's in all.
Wrong.
Of them,
Yeah, he's in all of them.
Oh, he's in the third one too.
Like always does like flashbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He for sure is though.
All right. So okay, bonus round, bonus or hint round or whatever.
Yeah.
Both of these movies, in consecutive years, he was nominated for an acting Oscar.
Consecutive years.
Yep.
Can you tell us the years, or is that too much?
Probably too much.
Okay.
I'll tell you the years if you guys get it wrong for a round.
Okay.
Yeah, he had was nominated for acting awards at the Oscars, 2 consecutive years for.
These are the
2
Academy
movies.
Awards?
Yes.
And this must be at least in the early 90s, late 80s or something, right?
I'm gonna guess the 90s.
Shit.
Whose turn is it?
Yeah, it's my
We're not
turn.
looking for guessing of years here. We're looking for guessing of movies.
Right.
Well, I was gonna just do more Wes Anderson. I was gonna say the Grand Budapest Hotel, but that's obviously wrong now. But oh well, Grand Budapest Hotel.
That is wrong.
Wrong.
It's your turn.
It's your turn.
Is it?
Yes,
I thought it was
bro.
Jared.
You don't know how
Yeah.
things
Oh,
go
it's
around
been
in
going like
circles,
this?
you know?
Yeah. All right. I'm
I
gonna
can't believe
guess-
this movie's still going on. They're not even off the fucking boat yet.
I know they haven't even reached St. Martin yet. There's a movie where he is like a vampire. It's like a Nosferatu thing.
Shadow of the Vampire.
Yes, is that it?
That is a good guess, and it's wrong. He might have been nominated for an Oscar.
You actually gave him the title. That shouldn't count.
I'm usually good with like big actors in movies. I'm just having like a complete drawing a blank right now. So I'm just gonna say Spider-Man 3 and move on.
Okay, nice guess.
Fair enough, and wrong.
Wrong.
All right, so
It's a real Willem or Won't 'em situation.
the movies that he was nominated for. He was nominated for
Wait
best.
a second, wait. That was a pretty fucking good.
We ignore those. The movies The movies that he was nominated for. He was nominated for best supporting actor for a 2017 movie.
Oh, wow.
And best lead actor for a 2018 movie.
Oh shit! Recent.
What? Oh, where he's Vincent Van Gogh. Fuck. Ah, shit! I watched it. I liked
This summer, you're gonna Van Gogh to the movies.
See if it was wrong, I would probably just give it to you, like I helped Matt. But
Is it like something of light? It's not light. It's shit. I know. See, this is not fair, Matt. You gave Matt.
I gave him a wrong answer.
Yeah, I was on the wrong path. And he
Okay.
just helped me
Man,
get there.
Colin,
It's the Van Gogh one.
Colin, I'll tell you, you could probably think about this forever and not push it through the entrance there.
Because I don't remember the title, even
Yeah.
though I for sure watched the whole
Yeah,
movie
for
and
a
liked it.
long time. You could think about this for, I mean, just
A lifetime? A years?
almost an
28, 38 years.
Eternity?
almost an
Eternal.
eternity.
It's.
I don't know. I'm just
I know
feeling
we're
the
getting
hint
closer.
vibes.
Fuck! It's Vincent Van Gogh, and he's just.
Are you-
Vincent
are
Van
any
Gogh
of
the
you
whole
guys-
time.
I think I have a guess, but I'll wait until
Jump in. I give you
the
permission.
Florida Project.
Oh yes, you got the other one. Good job.
Yeah, that was the
right?
year
Oh,
before.
wow.
Yeah.
And I'm right. But I'm
You are
wrong.
right.
Correct.
You are
But
right.
I'm
It's-
right.
You guys are never going to get it. It's at Eternity's Gate.
Push it
Fuck,
through
that
the
is a
entrance.
hard title.
I get it.
Yeah.
But
It is a
I'm
hard
right
title.
though. I saw
Wrong.
it.
Right.
It was good. He was really good in that.
He was really good. He was like twice Van Gogh's actual age,
Yeah.
but
Vincent
Very
Van
good.
Gogh.
What's his
see it.
actual top 4? Like if he died tomorrow, what would be the 4 movies that he would be known for? Spider-Man?
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
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 This.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man 1.
I think the
Spider-Man
Lighthouse
2.
though.
I think the
Lighthouse
Lighthouse
pretty
is up
profound,
there.
yeah.
Lighthouse is great.
Yeah,
Boondock Saints. Maybe Antichrist.
The reason
Yeah,
I
maybe.
guessed Life Aquatic first is because I really think his part in that
that's a good
that
one.
movie
That's
really
one of,
Yeah.
makes
that's
the
one
whole,
of my favorite Willem Dafoe movies.
Yeah.
I also think there's a movie he made. I think it was a Paul Schrader movie called Light Sleeper that he's really good in. That I think would be,
Oh, look, they're
Oh.
doing the thing.
Yeah,
If you turn the wheelie do, that will spin the boat.
I like how they like graze it.
Oh yeah,
Very nicely.
They got to make contact,
I mean, it's cool. Yeah, this whole concept of what is happening right now is really cool.
and the CGI is bad, but at least we get to see the boat hit something.
Is it
I
bad,
also
though? I
don't
know.
understand why the oil tanker explodes at the end. I kind of missed that.
I mean, that's
I
just
don't.
so funny.
I think that was just because it's a movie.
because the plane crashed into it and they were like, yeah, it's got to blow up.
it
now.
doesn't even like crash. It kind of just gets like stuck.
Yeah, like lodged.
And it blows up kind of like in the air. I don't know. The whole thing's funny.
But is
unclear.
that?
Oh, that's
pretty
cool.
good.
That's
really
fucking
That looks
cool.
good. Yeah. It must have been a model, right?
I think
I
it's
don't know.
CGI.
I think it's CGI?
Or it might be a mixture of both.
This
or
part's
something.
CGI.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's a lot of models.
CGI was so
Like
new.
CGI was really bad back then. So
This whole movie like looks bad to me. I don't know if it's just this like this rip of it or like whatever.
I feel there's a lot of handheld camera, and there's a lot of like, I don't know if it's this version, but like the framing is weird on like a lot of the close-ups.
It feels like it's like artificially punched in on some of these.
Yeah, like the
things.
chins and tops of the heads are getting like cut off sometimes, and like it. And like because it's always handheld, I feel like we're at like weird canted angles. But
Was
I guess
this shot
on
in
a boat.
Was this possibly shot in full screen and it's just
That's what
like,
I'm
just
thinking is like
mashing it up for the.
Well, is it because I rented it on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
And like no one cares about this movie, so like is the best
On my TV, it has black bars on the top and bottom, and your TV, it doesn't.
So is the best quality,
Interesting.
the best available version of this movie that I can rent on Amazon, the full screen version cropped to widescreen version, because that's what it kind of looks like. Look at it.
Well, it looks like the widescreen version just punched in.
Yeah, but why would it be that?
That's what I'm
on your-
saying.
Is your TV setting like on the wrong like visual mode or something? Because mine, I have a screen like this too. It's a little smaller, but
a little accusatory.
I'm having
there,
a
man.
hard time remembering how I was watching it last night, but it does seem like
I think the
their
people-
headspace seems off.
Yeah, I think the people at Amazon just don't care about like what they're
Also,
putting
like-
out there.
But if you had
With
black
a movie-
bars, unless your TV is super tall, why would it be cutting off headspace here? It's a mystery. We'll
oh,
never
you know what? You might have rented a different version because
The director's cut.
I did it from Amazon also.
So here's the thing: is like how in your TV menu you can search for the title of what you want to watch on like the software of the TV rather than on Amazon's actual streaming app.
Yeah.
So I searched it from
Amazon.
the TV.
Oh, see, I did.
You
through
probably
Amazon.
searched it through Amazon. And
Yeah.
Amazon probably gave you, if you were searching on their site, they probably gave you
the
best quality
version. Yeah.
version of Speed 2.
Interesting. That's a whole subject.
I tried
to
searching it
delve
on my
into.
TV, and it just took me to the Apple like iTunes, like buy it for $15. I was
Yeah,
like, fuck.
the-
You use
buying
Apple
price
TV
was
though,
kinda
don't you?
ridiculous.
Yeah, if you use Apple TV, if you search it on your TV, Apple's going to give you Apple as the first option every
Yeah,
time.
of course.
But this is a Vizio, which is like,
It tells you just like all the available streamers that.
yeah,
have
it usually gives you Amazon first in the left to right though.
Okay.
Oh, here's three more good ones that would possibly be in his top four. Platoon,
Oh hell
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
I'm surprised none of us guessed that.
yeah.
Last Temptation of Christ,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
heard of that.
Mississippi Burning.
Isn't Last Temptation of Christ? Isn't that one of the Lars von Trier ones?
No, that is Scorsese.
Oh, because I remember at the beginning of the top four, you were like, "Don't guess any."
Yeah,
of those.
he was also in Wild at Heart, the David Lynch movie, where he was like a crazy murderer. Also in Clear and Present Danger, that was a good role when he was like the CIA
oh,
guy.
yeah. It's weird that they would get him to play crazy killers like that.
Yeah,
He looks so normal.
he was also in Body of Evidence with Madonna,
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
part of the sexy thrillers of the '90s.
Hell yeah.
I want to see him as like a sexy lead now at his current age.
Have you seen Antichrist? Very sexy.
Yeah,
No,
He-
nothing supernatural.
He
Very
jerks
like
off and ejaculates semen in that movie, or bloody semen.
He ejaculates
Oh,
semen.
yeah.
Isn't that weird?
bloody semen.
No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about like something with like more romance.
Look at
I
that.
mean, Willem
CGI.
Dafoe, he doesn't-
Wait,
he doesn't
did you
age,
not hear me
you know?
correctly? He jerks off bloody semen. You need more romance than that?
Yeah.
Does anyone know what town this actually is?
It's I know
Saint
it's
Martin.
Saint Martin.
They probably only have like one town.
I've heard of the college. I've never heard of the town.
Oh my god, hilarious!
This
Sorry,
guy
guys.
has both.
British art school joke.
No, it's good. What was it? You were talking about St. John's earlier, and I was like, I think they got a good plumbing school over there, but I didn't say it out loud. But now I have said it out
The
loud.
holy plumbing school.
Yeah, you get that one, Matt?
I tuned you out.
Because the
a long
John is
These
like
guys-
a toilet.
Do they got-
He's gonna dead for sure.
yeah, definitely did.
Okay, we're at the point where the boat's about to hit the actual. Oh my god, I
time.
can't believe.
Knots.
Do you realize we started talking about random stupid shit like 30 minutes ago when they were having all these fights and explosions on the ship, and it seemed like at that point we were getting to the conclusion of this incredibly long movie, and now they are just now getting to the end.
It would have been hilarious if they just cut to like one of the random people in a boat, and it's Keanu Reeves, and he just looks up and he's like, "Not cool," and then like speeds away.
You could cut that in.
That would be awesome.
That would be cool.
I think I looked up the wrong
9 knots. Here he goes.
Here we go. The countdown begins.
Okay, so I looked up the wrong St. Martin Island. I'm in the Indian Ocean right now, which is incorrect.
How could you?
Is it Maarten? What? How do they spell it over there?
Beats me. There's a big boat coming.
All right, I'm gonna have to go to Google. I'm just trying to find out what the town in St. Martin is.
Should
I'm
we
sure
start?
everyone's excited about that.
Should we start summarizing our thoughts? We're close to the end here. How much would you say is left in this movie? Actually, there's a whole fucking
too
sequence.
much. There's so much.
Oh
After
my
the thing
God.
crashes,
30 minutes.
they still have to. He got to steal the speedboat and catch the guy in the plane.
It takes like 15 minutes just to get from like the boat hitting the land to like when
Right.
it stops.
It's incredible.
And we haven't hit the land yet.
Which for something-
and this is the good part of the movie.
I know. I like how they keep hitting
For something that
boats.
should be like a minute long sequence.
Yeah.
The fact that they stretch it so long and it's so goddamn entertaining. Is actually
I like how many
cool,
boats
you know?
they hit on the way in. Oh, this guy? What the fuck is this?
Yeah, this makes no sense.
Why would you keep wakeboarding if you saw a cruise ship get even anywhere near this close to
Also,
doing
like,
any of
boats
this?
don't get that close to each other.
And why did they slow-mo his like wall ride to Wipeout?
I love that like fake like slow mo. That like it wasn't shot in slow mo. Oh, that looks. This is great.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
through
of course. The
big
guy who
shop.
steers the boat doesn't. He's like turned around, looking the wrong direction, and crashes
Oh,
into
don't
a
worry, he's
restaurant.
still alive, guys.
Yeah.
They had to show that.
Yeah,
Isn't there one where there's a
They didn't
dog
sh-
or something?
Look at
and
that
the dog
fake
pops
CGI.
up?
yeah. They didn't show like the 8 people that he killed when his boat landed on them.
There's
But
the kid.
yeah,
This realtor guy. He's great. Why does the kid have a bat?
Was there a Batman movie that year? Yes,
don't
there
know.
was. Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
It was in theaters probably at the same time as this, actually.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, there. It just said it. St. Martin. It said it on the screen.
Yeah,
You're
just
there?
give me some more time.
the town of St. Martin in the city of St. Martin in the country of St. Martin.
Bienvenue.
Bienvenue.
yeah.
So it looks like the main like town there is called Marigot, Marigot.
It's where they invented the merry-go-round.
Yeah, that's inaccurate, but I love that you said it so much.
All right, here we go.
I like this. I like this part. They do this one part really. Do you know this costs a quarter of their budget?
Of course. Also,
Just
like,
this
how does
one-
a boat keep going into town? Like, it would have stopped.
I know.
Like there.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
inertia. It's
Did you read at all how they did this? They
Yeah.
built. It's a model, but it's like built to scale.
giant
It was
model,
like
yeah.
So it's
the
like a
size of the
miniature,
ship. Yeah.
That's
And they just like had to progressively keep moving it like closer.
Hopefully it wasn't like
What was
hand
the
pulled.
pitch? Like, we have this boat that's got the
Yeah, yeah. This makes no sense. I've only got one arm.
It is hilarious.
Why, if you're getting thrown out of a window, why would you spread your arms out in the air like you're trying to, it's like you're an 8-year-old pretending he's Superman?
Don't question the professional stunt performers. Yeah, I think this had to be like a Synecdoche, New York type of thing, where like by the end of it, they're like, let's just build a whole boat. Like
5 knots.
Oh, the little dog! I forgot about the little dog. Why is that? Why even someone's dog got a line?
even the stupid gags, like the closed,
Oh my
open,
God.
closed.
Like, come on, if
gag
this
is
is
so
rated
The
R,
whole
stupid.
apartment just.
They would have been
They would've been
like
fucking-
fully
yeah,
having
just
sex.
dead.
Instead, they're just like in a bed.
Oh yeah.
Oh, jeez! Don't drive towards it.
Yeah, seriously, this guy's not paying attention.
You know, this is another great instance of we're about to see it soon, but a classic automobile, the Chrysler Sebring, always great in cinema and television.
Little Jan de Bont Jr.
Jan de Bont Jr.
I love that this always happens too in action movies where there's like some disaster is happening, and there's always some idiot who is driving his vehicle towards the disaster and doesn't realize that like 500 people are running in the opposite direction. And he's like, oh, I wonder what all those dummies are running
It's
around
usually
for.
a vehicle full of a product that can spill everywhere.
Yeah, like eggs or big jugs of water.
Yeah, it depends on who's sponsoring the movie, really.
How many people died on this day?
Oh my god.
Nobody. It's fine.
No, they all
Everybody
this
is fine,
PG-13.
yeah.
Nobody.
The movie's PG-13. Only the captain died.
Yeah. In the stupidest way possible.
Have you guys ever seen real life videos on YouTube of like big boats like this that like do crash into shit?
Yeah, well, there's that one, and it just kind of goes, boom.
Yeah, I haven't, but I know what I'm doing later now.
Yeah, there's some pretty cool shit. Oh, this guy from Billy Madison.
He's great, yeah.
Who would eat 30
He's like,
bag
no,
lunches?
not my
There's the Sebring.
Sebring.
Hey, where's Billy? That's like his one line. He's in school. Oh yeah.
Look at that
Slow
Sebring
motion.
though. What a piece of American.
Where are
American
they?
engineering.
Just doesn't make any sense.
Oh, you gotta hit the bell. Ring it.
Yeah, I gotta ring the bell.
And the bell saved them all.
Here we go.
Zero.
Zero.
It's zero.
Yeah. It's so funny.
well.
They just go back to saying it again.
Oh,
Like everyone else is like, no shit. We stopped. We can all feel it.
Oh yeah, and then the boat tips over after this.
Oh yeah.
Like,
There's like
what was
another
this?
piece of
But it's okay. We've docked.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This looks like the end of the movie. This crane shot.
it should be.
When do you shoot a crane shot like that without rolling credits?
I read that that's a staple of this director, the crane shot or the helicopter shot that like starts close and then pulls back to reveal the extent of the damage.
Yeah.
He did Twister right before this.
Twister rules.
He did Speed,
great movie.
followed by Twister, followed by this.
What did he do after this? He's due for a good one again, right?
He did The Haunting with Liam Neeson and Owen Wilson.
I kind of like that movie. It's
and
better than Twister.
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
This
I remember
movie's-
that was a big day for night movie.
This movie does
Yeah.
suck,
Yeah.
but
Big
that
time.
doesn't mean Jan de Bont isn't great.
And then his
No, I
last,
mean-
he only did 5 movies. His 5th one was one of the Tomb Raiders. I can't remember which one.
Oh, that's what got him sent to direct
What's he
to
up to
jail
now?
forever.
I don't know
Still
what he does
alive?
now. But he started as a DP, and one of his famous movies was Die Hard. He was the DP.
It's weird. I was looking at his IMDb, and it's like he doesn't even have directors as like a credit. It's just like cinematography
Oh,
and
really?
producing.
So all his
Which is
best
weird,
movies, all his
right?
best movies are probably things that he didn't direct.
But
Yeah.
he directed these. Though,
He's
so
probably
I don't
just
know.
he's
I
probably
said
just
best movies.
he's probably just trying to get away from this one thing. Speed 2.
Wait, look, we're docked. There he goes. Wait.
Yeah, great.
wait, where
Another
is that?
line for that guy.
They could all celebrate the
I can't
billions of
believe it.
dollars in damage they've done. We destroyed an entire town with our fat cruise ship that doesn't understand physics.
It's kind of my favorite.
So,
my
all
favorite
these
line.
characters.
It's every familiar character all
They're
the
all
extras
right
who had a
there.
line all ended up in the one room that
Zero.
got stuck on the ship.
He says 0 again.
He said it
Beautiful.
again?
Yeah.
Oh, I
It's
missed
That's
that.
you
clearly
were-
just like
you didn't
he
hear him
probably
at the
just did a
beginning?
bunch of takes and they just cut it in.
Oh yes, this guy's back.
Yeah, I love this character.
This
This guy's
guy's
great.
great.
Yeah.
So there's only 4 actors who are in
I just bought a
both.
condo here.
This boat cost me $150,000.
Yeah, Toon Man's making some serious money off those tunes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So there's only 4 actors who are in both movies. Can you guys name them all?
Joe Morton, Sandra Bullock, the guy whose name I can't remember who plays Toon Man, and shit.
Wait, Toon Man.
Oh, and the lady
Yeah,
from the
the
elevator.
elevator.
Yeah.
Was,
Yeah.
was there a baby on the
the bus.
bus at all?
No, it was cans.
No, his baby was made of cans.
No?
They
There was
were
no-
just
there was no
cans.
kids?
It was
I
just
don't think
cans.
Was there a
any-
little girl
I
on
don't
the,
think there was any
on the
little
bus?
girls.
No, there were no kids.
little girl on the bus. No.
That's
No
the-
little deaf girls
That's
on the
the
bus?
element that
No.
was missing.
Yeah, no, I don't think the little girl thing is like a Jan de Bont thing. I think it's like
Oh yeah, this part is so fucking dumb too. She releases him. They're
there the
on
whole
like a
time.
double.
I didn't
jet
realize they
ski
weren't on
thing.
like a regular boat until right now. Did they switch what boat they were on? Like what the hell?
He just took her somehow.
Like at this point, just fucking escape, dude.
Yeah, dude, you got the diamonds, man.
You're like, why do you need a hostage? You're done.
And it's very clear you're kidnapping her just to have a hostage.
Because he's yelling, "You're my hostage! I can't let you go.
Exactly.
You're my hostage."
That is an ADR line to explain to the
Yes.
audience like why
Yeah.
he needs
Yeah.
to continue.
But it's like you don't
Extra
need a
exposition.
hostage anymore.
Right.
Like only this guy knows
Yeah,
where
you
you
escaped.
are, and
Like,
he's
you're done.
only chasing
He's
you.
only
because
chasing you
have a
because of your hostage.
Mission accomplished, bro. You did it.
You did it. You did it an hour ago. Why didn't you just fucking win? You idiot.
also like everyone knows who he is and who did this. Right?
Yeah, he's even talking. He's talking about it like he's Keanu Reeves from Speed. He's like, "What are you doing here? You guys," because he said LAPD, and he's like, "You guys cost me." You know, they're just like trying to recycle lines that they had when it was a Keanu role. So dumb. Everything about this is dumb. We should start wrapping it up. There's nothing that isn't dumb that happens now.
Yeah, we all know how it ends, right?
I mean, Sandra's doing a good job here.
It ends with sadness. It ends with sadness and embarrassment for everyone involved.
Does anyone know if the movie The Net is a good or bad movie?
It's not good.
Because I remember I really liked it as a kid.
These two will tell you it's bad.
I liked The Net.
I
as a
will
kid.
say this:
I
it
love
is
it.
one of Dennis Miller's best film roles.
I don't know. I've seen Bordello of Blood.
I mean,
I was
well,
like, the
yeah,
only other one I could think of is Bordello
I
of
mean,
Blood.
yeah. So it's in his top two.
The Net is better than this.
Yeah.
Well, that's
if you like 56K modems, you'll love the net.
yeah.
People don't like 56K modems?
The sound.
Hey, I was around when there was 28K, so that was a huge jump. So
Wow.
Flex.
I remember was there
Just
40,
saying.
there was like a 48K, right? There was a 40 something, 42.
How many times have you guys seen You've Got Mail?
once.
Yeah,
probably
once was enough for me.
Once was enough.
And how many times have you seen You've Got Mail?
More than all three of you combined.
Okay.
I just blinked and I missed it again. How did he get this boat? It was just sitting there.
Oh, he had it planned. I think that was
Oh,
he
yeah,
was
it's
going to be
tough to-
heading there anyway.
It's tough to care.
Yeah,
He knew that the boat was going to be diverted to St. Martin.
No, I
Yeah.
mean the plane. I think
the
he
plane.
Had that.
Yeah, he got the
He had the plane
got
ready
the
there.
boat and the plane.
That was part of his
Had it
plan.
all laid out.
Keep track, man.
Which he, again,
Well, it's how
he
close
would
is
be
St. Martin
getting away
to
with
the-
it
to
if he
the
didn't take the
oil
hostage.
tanker.
Yeah, Jason Patrick would already have left if Sandra Bullock
Yeah.
was just on our.
If he literally dumped her out of the
Jets.
plane right now,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
would get away
exactly
with diamonds.
And honestly, if he just took a few
Why
more,
does he keep
if he
in her,
just took a few more flying lessons, he probably would have gotten away even in spite of all this.
Well, he does
Yeah.
say, "I'll let you go at 10,000 feet." So, like now, his motivation is just that he
I
wants to
want to
kill her.
But
Yeah.
why?
It doesn't make any sense. It's okay. It's
She
okay.
should have killed his leeches earlier.
It's the important thing to remember is bad movie.
You know what's
Movie
a better
bad.
speedboat movie that came out this same summer? Face Off.
Face Off, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
That
maybe the
speedboat
greatest
chase
speedboat
at
movie,
the
yeah.
end there, amazing.
It's the best. It's the best.
What is this like harpoon thing that he's using? Like, is that
It's a harpoon.
is that
thing?
just like
so-
regular fishing gear you can buy at the bait shop?
I
or
think it
what
comes
the
with
fuck?
it comes with a boat when you buy it.
No, nice.
They're
Okay.
like, hey, you need a
Oh,
harpoon
well,
gun?
only $150,000 boat.
yeah,
Yeah.
Do you need any nautical weapons?
This is pretty great.
That's
though.
pretty good.
This is pretty great.
I wanted him so badly to stand upright and like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to play the James Bond theme if he does that.
Yep.
That's
Okay.
Yeah, we gotta summarize.
I'm going to sum up this movie by saying it is a turd. It is a long turd. There might be a couple of good things about it. Nobody should ever subject themselves to watching this movie. I can't believe I have now watched it almost 3 times because I honestly didn't watch the end of it the other night when I was supposed to rewatch it because it's that bad. And I fell asleep, and it's awful. I give this movie 3. Oh, God, that seems fucking generous when I say it out loud. This isn't even a 3 Timothy Dolphin movie. This is so bad. I can think of like almost nothing good about it. It's two Timothy Dolphins.
Oh,
Give it a 3. Real professionals made this movie, so it's worth something.
I feel
but
like-
it is incompetent in almost every way.
I feel like you said 3 the first time, and that's
Yeah,
what
and
you should
then I
say.
heard it come out of my mouth, and I was like, "This 3 out of 10? No, that's
It's
just,
at least a 3, and so I guess I'll go next.
yeah. I guess you should.
It's definitely at least a 3 because
Wrong.
it has to get 1 point for them completing the film. Okay, it's like writing your name on the top of the test. You get a point for that.
You made a movie, right?
I almost gave them 2 points just for that.
It has Sandra Bullock. That's another point.
Your final score was 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It has Sandra Bullock. That's another point. All right, we're at 2 points. You're forgetting this movie has UB40 in it. 3 points. 3 Timothy Dolphins. Speed 2. 3 Timothy Dolphins.
Wow.
You know I'm right.
So Jared, we do a Timothy Dolphin scale on this show. It's a scale from 1 to 10, but you have to summarize your thoughts and then end by saying, "I give this blank Timothy Dolphins."
Okay.
Don't say blank though. Say a number.
But who is Timothy Dolphins?
This show used to be a James Bond show, so it comes from Timothy Dalton, who played
Timothy
Bond.
Dolphin. Okay, I got you.
But it's like a dolphin though.
It's a whole thing.
a whole
Normally we
thing.
don't even explain.
So I recognize it's a horrible movie, and I did enjoy moments of it.
Again, they don't understand inertia. When the ship hits land, it proceeds to move for 15 minutes. When the plane hits a spire, it immediately stops, dead stop in the middle of the air. A plane that was flying at flying speed.
It would have been cooler if he flew out the windshield to his death or something,
No, anything would have been cool. Making a different movie would have been cooler. Sorry, go ahead.
I feel like if this movie was a little bit shorter, it would still be horrible, but I think it would be just short and bad enough that it could be one of those like midnight showing type things. People just go crazy for it. Hey, who knows? Maybe after this, people can turn it into one of those things. But that being said, I give it a solid 1.2 Timothy Dolphins.
That's tough but fair.
That's really low. Didn't you hear what I said?
Yeah.
You saw the UB40 scene, right?
Hey, wait, what did you give it, Colin? Did you give it
I give it 3.
3? Okay, I thought so.
He loves this movie.
Yeah, that's a big score.
I mean, that is rock bottom for Colin. I don't think he's rarely given anything less than a 3. I think.
Yeah, that's like really low for me.
Guys, I am usually pretty generous with movies that are bad.
Gotta balance it out.
It's a 10. Oh my god!
But I have to say, I don't know if it was just my hype, wishing that this movie was actually good, despite all the bad things I knew about it. But the letdown, just paired with Willem Dafoe's crazy performance. I'm just watching him right now. He just sucks in this movie. And damn Jarrell Phillips, our last guest, for saying that Dennis Hopper is bad in the first Speed. He's one of my favorite parts of that movie. I held back. I bit my tongue so hard. Oh god, horrible
big
CGI
explosion, bad CGI. Oh, just terrible. Oh my god,
awful. Oh, that looks
That's
cool.
pretty great.
This is completely CGI.
Oh yeah,
they didn't
it's
one
ridiculous.
real explosion.
They didn't blow up any of this boat.
It looks pretty.
They got to show that the oil tanker guys.
That looks cool. That part looks.
They have to show that the oil tanker guys got off the boat and escaped, and they weren't blown up with this because it's a PG-13 movie. But literally, a plane crashed to one part of the ship, and they were like, "Oh fuck it, we're all out of here."
Yeah.
Oh my god! By the way, the environmental disaster that would have
no shit
is just
my god.
Okay, whatever.
Anyway, I'm usually pretty generous when it comes to these movies that, even Mortal Kombat 2, I think, was our lowest rated movie. I think I might have given a 4 or something like that. But I don't know. This is
forgot they find the diamonds.
Yeah, that's so stupid also. This is painful to sit through. It's an insult to the first movie. It's an insult to movies. It's just
you feel dumber after watching.
You do feel dumber. It's really
you need
bad.
to read a book. After
if you paid
watching
for it,
this
you
movie.
feel dumber and then dumber again.
Yeah, we all paid. 3 of us paid for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have no other option here than to assign this movie no license to watch from me.
Oh wow!
And the coveted 0, Timothy Dolphin.
Wow. It's a 10. Wow, that is
between our 1 and a 0. We technically did.
Is
give
this
it
the
a
record?
10.
Yeah, this might be the. I mean,
this may be one of the lowest.
I'm glad to be
movies
part of
ever
current
in the
history.
Yeah, I feel like this isn't a worse movie than Mortal Kombat 2, but damn, it's up there.
I mean,
at
least
and
Mortal
also,
Kombat
when we
2
did-
is so bad that it's good.
But
It's goofy and fun.
Yeah.
This is
campy.
such a disrespect to movies.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 2 is trash, but it's really hot trash. It's burning trash.
One of the writers is this guy Jeff Nathanson, and the only other thing I know that he wrote is Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Now you know. Now you know.
Bad sign for
now.
Jeff
Now
Nathanson.
everything adds up.
Yep.
Or he wrote the original draft or something, some bullshit like that.
Yeah, I thought you were.
Oh,
forgot
right.
this scene.
I thought you were going to say the only thing he ever wrote was
before
the
credits
cocktail menu at the bar he works at now.
Oh wait, there's another scene.
Yes.
Do you think
yes,
they
the
shot this?
Tim
I
Conway
turned it off.
callback.
I literally
The movie?
turned it off.
Or was it intentional? You know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying? This feels like a pickup.
They probably had Tim Conway for one
reshoot.
day. They probably shot them all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, another driving instructor scene.
Last week, it's only been a week.
Yeah, their
great.
vacation was cut
Great.
short.
And her biggest priority when she got home was not recovering from the near-death experience, but
No trauma. It's all good.
No, she knows how to handle these situations.
Happens pretty regularly.
Yep. Oh God, this movie's
but
way
wait.
too long.
There's
Oh,
the
the bus. Oh my God, I forgot. So like the same bus drives by, and it's number 2526. And if we learned anything from last episode, it's that 25 plus 26 is 51, which is the number that comes after 50, which is the number that the last bus totaled up to. Which was that was trivia. We had trivia coming up on the screen, and it said 25 plus 25 equals 50, which is the speed limit that the bus can't go below.
Math trivia.
Yeah.
I just saw music by Mark Mancina. Did you guys notice like the subtle ripoff of like the Batman theme in like the middle section of this movie?
No. I heard some motifs.
Yeah,
and I also heard like little Avatar motifs too.
Yeah,
like that thing. I forget how it goes, but it's. Yeah, I can't sing it.
Sing it for us. We
but,
demand it.
Well,
I mean, I know we're all going to go back and listen to the entire score.
We forgot to mention the score. I love the score of the first movie. It's like catchy. It's like gets you into the like it throws you into the movie, you know. And like I'm so surprised it's the same guy. And like kudos to him for doing something different. He didn't just like repeat the same themes. But
he like
I remember the
it's
theme.
terrible.
Yeah.
The music
I remember the
is
theme.
terrible.
I can sing it for you. It's like da-na-na-na, that thing, which is why you're thinking Batman.
Yeah, no,
you know, like that. Yeah. That whole thing.
But what we all wanted was dun 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 dun.
Yeah,
that was already being used in like The Rock already at this point, or whatever.
Yeah,
like, whatever the next movie.
Rhythm
That
and
same
Hughes.
thing is in this. The next
Like if it's if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Doug Mancini.
That's like not his name.
Doug
Mark Mancina.
Doug's his brother.
Doug's his brother. Yeah, this is my brother Mark Mancina. I decided to change my last name to Mancini because my name is Doug. We're brothers.
I'm just happy I never have to watch this movie ever again in my life.
It's kind of nice. It's kind of a nice feeling.
I feel pretty confident that I will never watch this movie again. I can't see a reason why I would ever.
Well,
If you ever want to, Colin owns it.
Yeah.
No,
No, I rent it.
Okay.
Oh God, I thought you paid the $15.
well, that is until you guys do License to Watch Plus, where you rewatch all the movies with the same
my
people
God.
all over again.
Like 20 years later, we reconnect
Like
and we're like,
30, 40
boys,
years
it's
later."
time to do it again.
This is one time I'm glad I'm older than you guys, and I will not outlive.
There were
live
things
long enough for
left
this.
unsaid.
Harris is like half cyborg at that point. He's got a bionic eye. He's like,
Just
I'm
unplug
ready
me
to
for
watch.
Christ's sake.
He no longer has any quality of life, but he is being kept alive to fucking
To
be
watch movies.
licensed to watch.
like the brain in the tank in City of Lost Children. Just like,
Just really,
He exists for one reason alone, to review movies from the 90s.
So, oh my God, so crotchety too. Me and Matt are like, oh yeah, I went to the store today. Maybe that messed up my viewing experience. Harris is like, oh yeah, you went out somewhere, did you? Did you go do something with your legs?
I sat in my tank and watched Twister for the 40th time.
My floating brain in this tank absorbed fish food like it does every day.
Every single day. So yeah, be ready for that.
In 20 years, we'll be back. For
Yeah,
Speed
like and
2,
subscribe.
when this movie will be considered a classic.
You remember all your join our Patreon, where all your Patreon funds buy you additional content plus my fish tank rental in the future.
Yep.
Just wait till Gen Z discovers this movie and they like hype it up to be a
The forgotten classic. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, all sorts of trashy crap from the 90s has come back into fashion. So why not bad
Just
CGI?
like me.
People are going to think like bad CGI is kind of a fun thing, like Tamagotchis and mom jeans.
I saw that one of the producers on this was a guy named Michael Pizer, who was a professor at USC.
Sure was.
Yeah.
Sure was. If I had only known when I was there, I would
I
have
could have
told him
killed
a
him
thing or
then.
two. Yeah, I'm like, listen, man, you did a bad job. You should be very sad about that.
Bad. That's
Well,
a bad
ILM.
professor.
You made a bad movie.
And we forgot to announce our next series. Whose is it? It's yours.
It's mine.
It's Harris. Do you want to do the honors?
Yeah, sure. We are going to be tackling
our next twofer series.
Oh, we are going to be tackling a classic from the 80s and 90s. Is the sequel in the 90s?
Yep.
Yeah.
It spans 2 decades.
A classic. I wanted to call it a horror comedy, but it kind of defies genreification. It is just an awesome twofer. Gremlins and Gremlins 2: The New Batch.
It's a long-awaited series, I think. We've been talking about doing it for a long time.
And you did say that your main reason is your obsession with Judge Reinhold, correct?
Yes, I think that's always been forefront on my mind.
Well, he's not in the second one, is he?
No,
he's only in the first. Yeah.
Phoebe Cates is in both of them, though.
Yes, she is. And the main guy.
The main guy, yeah, him, too.
I don't know his name.
No, nobody does.
But we'll do
I just
some
like the
research.
idea of like Harris being a Judge Reinhold super fan. I think that's funny.
Maybe we'll go watch Fast Times as a bonus
Fast
movie
Times
for
is
that.
dope.
That's
Or is
a
it
good
dope?
idea.
I don't remember. Whatever.
What is dope?
He's also in all the Beverly Hills Cops.
Well, I was saying that Fast Times has Judge Reinhold and Phoebe Cates in a very famous scene where she catches him masturbating.
Yes.
Yes, we know that.
And if
Everyone
you wait
knows
to
that.
the end of the credits, there's. I was going to make a stupid Gremlins joke. There's Gremlins. I don't know.
Was Judge Reinhold in that really bad, Freaky Friday movie, Vice Versa?
I don't know.
He's in some Body Switch movie. I don't know
I
if
think
it's
that's
Vice
it,
Versa.
but,
Yeah, Vice with Fred
Fred
Savage.
Savage.
Fred Savage.
Is that
Yeah,
it? Yeah.
Should I Google it? Or
You're
is
right.
it-
No, I don't think it's that important. Well, the people will never know. Who was in the Dudley Moore Body Switch movie? Who was the kid in that
I
one?
think that was Macaulay Culkin.
You said it with such confidence. I think everyone's going to think you're not wrong.
I'm so tired. I don't even know if I said Freaky Friday or Friday the 13th.
Vice Versa
Like,
is the correct name of the film, and it was Fred Savage.
there you go.
We're all super smart. Let's
Was
all
Fred
give ourselves
Savage?
a pat.
So Fred Savage, he was also the kid in The Princess Bride,
Yes.
but he was not the kid who's Tom Hanks when he's little and big.
No.
Right.
No.
That's just some kid.
That was
right?
the guy from Gremlins who we can't remember his name.
Really?
No, it
That
wasn't
was
him
him?
either.
No. Yeah, he's.
That was
he's barely in the
Fred
movie, though,
Savage's body double.
Oh, right.
All right, well, that's the real end of the show. Let us not issue a license to this movie, and may it never be watched by anyone again. Now put on the net.
Let's go.
Bye.